Hey guys, good afternoon and welcome back again to your Vedantu JEE English channel. I hope all of you are doing great, having a good time. So people, quickly just let me know in the chats if all of you can hear me, if I'm perfectly audible, visible to everyone. Yes? Let me know quickly in the chats, people. Let me know quickly in the chats if all of you can hear me, if I'm perfectly audible, visible to everyone. Let me know in the chats. Perfect. So people, how was the paper? Yeah, let me know in the chats once. How was your paper? Was it easy, difficult, moderate? How was it exactly? Can you just confirm it in the chat so that I'll get to know how your paper went exactly? Yes? Let me know in the chats quickly. Let me know in the chats quickly, people. People are saying no voice. Am I audible, visible to you properly? Perfect. It was absolutely easy, guys. It was absolutely easy. Yes, you'll get to know in some time. Well, till now, I got around 15 to 16 questions from the students, basically, right? Around 15 to 16 questions I got from the students, right, which are completely memory-based. Yes, and we shall be solving these questions first of all here, right? And after me, Shreya sir is going to join in for the physics and then maths. Then I'll be coming again with the rest of the questions, which I'll be getting from the students, right? Perfect, guys? All right. Yes, Aisha, I've seen the questions which you have sent on my Telegram, right? Yes, I completely rely upon your questions, whatever you have sent me. All right, guys. So let's get going then. Let's get started with the first question. You guys are going to confirm in the chats whether the questions were asked in your today's shift 1 examination or not. Was this the question asked, people? Say yes or no in the chats quickly. Say yes or no in the chats quickly. The number of lone pair of electrons present in oxygen, in ozone. In case of ozone, the total number of lone pairs present on oxygen. Was this the question asked? Well, this question I got from a lot of students. Yeah, so this was the simplest among all, my dear students, and I'm sure you exactly know how to solve this question. You are simply supposed to draw the structure of ozone. Any of the Lewis structure of ozone you can draw, and you have to calculate the lone pair of electrons. If you do not know exactly how to draw the structure of ozone, let me quickly show it to you. See guys, this is O3, right? See exactly how do we draw the Lewis structures, because these sort of patterns of questions might get repeated in the upcoming session as well. Okay, have a look. If I talk about one oxygen atom has got 6 valence electrons, and over here I have got 3 oxygen atoms, right? So total, how many valence electrons are there? Total there are 18 valence electrons in O3. One oxygen atom has got 6 valence electrons, so 3 oxygen atoms will have 18 valence electrons. 18 valence electron means how many electron pairs? I must say 9 valence electron pairs. So in case of O3, there will be in total 9 valence electron pairs, correct? Now people, what exactly you are going to do? For example, this is oxygen, this is one more oxygen, this is one more oxygen. Perfect. Put a single bond, put a single bond. Perfect. So how many valence electron pairs you have? 9. Out of 9, we have used 2 electron pairs. So I'm still left with 7 electron pairs. Now let me try to fulfill the octet of this one. Let me try to fulfill the octet of this oxygen. Perfect. Let me try to fulfill the octet of this oxygen as well. Right? So how many valence electron pairs total we have? 9. Out of 9, how many I have used? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1 I'm keeping here. Perfect. Now you tell me whether the octet of this particular oxygen is complete or not. 2, 4, 6. It's incomplete, right? So just do one thing, remove one of the electron pair from here. Instead of that, put a double bond. So this is one of the Lewis structures of your O3. Now calculate the total number of lone pairs which you were supposed to calculate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So there are in total 6 lone pairs present in your O3, my dear students, right? Perfect. Right, people? Exactly. One of the simplest questions which was asked in the today's shift 1. Okay? Let's move on to one more question, people. Let's move on to one more question. Many a times I have solved these sort of questions with you from the chapter solid state, right? Look at the question carefully and see what exactly is asked in the question. Have a look, people. We have got a solid which has got atoms X. We have got a solid which has got atom X. A solid has got atom X, right? And as per the question, X atoms are present at alternate corners and at the body center. So X atoms are present at alternate corners and at the body center. Right? And Y atoms are present at 1/3 of phase centers. 1/3 of phase centers. We need to know exactly what is going to be the formula of the compound, right? Simple and basic question again this is. Have a look, people, how exactly we are going to solve this. First of all, if X atoms are present at alternate corners means half of the corners basically. In total in a cube there are 8 corners, right? So half of the corners are being occupied as per the question. Have a look. X atoms occupy alternate corners. Instead of alternate corners, you can just write 50% of the corners. 50% means 1/2. Corner contribution is 1/8. Total there are 8 corners, right? Apart from that, X particle is present at the body center as well. Contribution of the body center is 1 and there is 1 body centered particle. Perfect. So this and this got cancelled. It's 1/2 plus 1. 1/2 plus 1 comes out to be 3/2. So this value is coming out to be 3/2. Now, Y atoms are present at 1/3 of phase centers. What is the contribution of phase centered particle? That's 1/2. In total, there are 6 phase centered particles. So this is 2, 1, this is 2, 3, and 3, 3 got cancelled. The value came out to be 1 over here. Perfect. Now, if I do one thing, if I take the LCM of the denominators comes out to be 2, right? I'll be multiplying this term with 2, this term with 2. So 2, 2 got cancelled. It's going to be X3 and it's going to be Y2. So X3, Y2 is going to be the formula of this particular compound which you were supposed to calculate. Isn't it simple and basic, my dear students? Yes, isn't it simple and basic? So as per the question, your X particles were present at alternate corners. That means 50% of the corners were occupied and body center was also occupied. 50% means 1/2. Contribution of corner is 1/8. In total, there are 8 corners. Body center contribution is 1. In total, there is 1 body center particle. So this and this got cancelled. 1/2 plus 1 comes out to be 3/2. 1/3 of phase center contribution, 1/2, 6 phase centers. So 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3 cancel. The value comes out to be 1. Take the LCM, multiply with the LCM and get the formula of the compound, right? We have solved these sort of questions many a times on this particular channel itself, people, right? Perfect. All right, let's move on to one more question. One of the very common reactions, which I'm 100% sure all of you must be knowing. One of the simple questions and the most asked question, people. Look at this. Intermediate formed when phenol is prepared from cumene, right? When you prepare phenol from cumene, what is the intermediate formed, people? This is given in your NCERT, directly taken from your NCERT. It's absolutely going to be cumene hydroperoxide, which is basically your intermediate when you prepare phenol from the cumene, right? Perfect. Yes, people? Absolutely, absolutely. A very simple question this was. Directly, this is copied and pasted from your NCERT. What is the intermediate? And expect these sort of questions again in the upcoming shifts as well. Intermediates in different reactions. Electrophiles generated in different reactions. Nucleophiles generated in different reactions. Have a proper eye on those sort of questions for the upcoming shifts, yeah? Perfect, guys. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Moving on to one more. Question. Have a look, people. All right, just confirm it with me once in the chats whether this question was asked. Color obtained by the flame test of potassium, barium, strontium and calcium. Again, the question directly copied and pasted from NCERT. From this particular paragraph itself. So flame coloration is important. Expect some more questions from flame coloration in the upcoming shifts, my dear students. Just give me some confirmation. Was this the question asked? Right, people? Yes, Sujata, you can expect. I can see majority of the students are saying yes, this question was asked, and this is a very simple question, people. Calcium, strontium, barium imparts the characteristic brick red, crimson, apple green colors, right? And your potassium, it's pink, lilac in color, right? Perfect. So flame coloration, have an eye on this. This might get repeated, not for the same elements, but different elements can be given in the upcoming shifts, right? So this was one more question, which was very simple and directly taken from your NCERT. Yeah? All right. Let me know in the chats whether this question was asked. Graph for rate of reaction versus substrate concentration for the enzyme catalyzed reaction. Was this the question asked, people? Say yes or no, quickly in the chats. Quickly. Say yes or no. Was this the question asked? Graph between the rate of reaction versus substrate concentration. Was this the asked? I can see majority of the students are saying yes. So what should be the graph of this particular one? Enzyme catalyzed reactions, right? If I plot a graph between rate versus concentration of substrate for the enzyme catalyzed reaction, so how this graph looks like. Basically, when the concentration of substrate is kept low, enzyme fastly acts on substrate and the rate of reaction in the beginning will be fast, right? Then when you increase the concentration of substrate furthermore, the enzyme that is already acting upon the initial substrate which is there, the new substrate which you are adding basically, right? It won't be properly acted by the enzyme because the enzyme is already involved in the previous substrate which is there. Perfect. So the graph slightly shows something like this. The graph slightly goes something like this. And when you further increase the concentration of substrate, the graph further becomes flat like this. Why is that? Because whatever enzyme you have used, that enzyme will be working upon the previous initial substrate which you have used. Correct? The new substrate which you are using, that is not acted by the enzyme because all the enzyme is basically what? All the enzyme which you have used, that is working on the initial substrate which you have used. So this is going to be the kind of the graph for the rate versus the enzyme catalyzed, for the rate versus the substrate in case of enzyme catalyzed reaction. Perfect. So I'm sure one of the graph would have been something like this, and this is going to be the answer of this question. Right, people? So firstly, when the concentration of substrate is low, right? Whatever enzyme you have used, that completely acts on that substrate. So rate increases fastly. Yeah? Now when you're adding further more substrate, whatever enzyme was there, that is busy with the initial substrate which you have used. Now the new substrate, that is not getting the proper attention from the enzyme. Correct? So the graph then becomes the flat. Yeah? One more question, simple question. Was there any option like this? Yeah? Let me know in the chats once. So this was one more simple question, and I'm 100% sure that you would have easily solved this question. All right, people. See one more simple question that was asked. Look at this one. Look at this question, people, carefully. Order of electron gain enthalpy of noble gases. Directly question taken from the table. You have to give the order of the electron gain enthalpy of noble gases. Helium, xenon, neon, krypton. And if you talk about the electron gain enthalpy, this is the electron gain enthalpy. For what? For helium it is 48 kilojoules per mole. Then neon is also given. Is neon given? Yes. It's 116. Perfect. Xenon is also given. Okay, argon is not given. Krypton is given. This is krypton, and xenon is also given. Perfect. So order you have to check. These were the 4 noble gases which you were given with. So maximum will be for neon, right? Maximum will be for neon. So electron gain enthalpy of neon is maximum as you see the table. And after that, you'll give priority to krypton. And after krypton, you'll give priority to your xenon. And after xenon, you'll give priority to that of helium. So this has to be the decreasing order of electron gain enthalpies of these noble gases which we were given with. So have a proper eye on these sort of tables as well. Okay? Perfect. A very simple question. I'm 100% sure this is the kind of table which no one skips basically. And I'm 100% sure you would have solved it properly. Yeah? Question directly copied and pasted from NCERT. All right, people. Just let me know once in the chats whether this sort of a question was asked or not. Yes or no? Half-life of the reaction is given. Okay. Find the time required for 75% completion of the reaction. I'm sure it's an incomplete question basically. I'm sure there would have been mentioned as the reaction is of the order 1. Right? The reaction would have been of the first order. That's something which I'm assuming, I'm guessing. Well, I got this question from the student, right? But there should have been mentioned that the reaction is of first order. Just say yes or no if this question is asked. Someone is saying the video is blurred. Just increase the quality of the video, right? In your settings, it will be fine. All right, people, absolutely. See, this is a very simple question, people. I'm sure you must be knowing in your chemical kinetics, I've taught you many a times, time taken to complete 75% of the first order reaction is 2 times the half-life. Is 2 times the half-life. There is one more expression, time taken to complete 87.5% of the first order reaction is equal to 3 times the half-life, right? And you must be knowing time taken to complete 99.9% of the first order reaction is equal to the 10 times half-life. Is equal to the 10 times half-life. And all these expressions are basically valid for the first order reactions. So in this shift, the question was asked from this expression. In the upcoming shifts, the questions can be asked from these 2 expressions as well, right? Okay, now, half-life. Half-life of the reaction is given to us as 30 minutes. So time taken to complete 75% of the first order reaction is going to be 2 multiplied by 30. The value comes out to be 60 minutes. So 60 minutes is going to be the time taken to complete 75% of the reaction. As simple as that, right? Perfect. How many of you got it right? Just let me know once in the chats quickly. Let me know once in the chats quickly. How many of you got right? It was the simplest among all, right? When you talk about kinetics. Okay, so moving on to one more question. Just give me some confirmation from the chats whether this type of the question was asked or not. I'm not sure about the values, whether the values were same, but the type of the question was the same in your exam, right? I'm not sure what exactly were the values. Yeah? Perfect. Just say yes or no in the chats whether this question was asked. Quickly, people, quickly. Quickly, yes or no? Sanjeet is saying yes, all right. Let's see exactly how this sort of a question is to be solved. My dear students, as per this particular question is concerned, first of all, we have solved these sort of questions many a times here on this channel itself, right? Based on equivalent concept. See what the question says. First of all, we have got the monobasic acid. Let's say this is the acid HA. It is monobasic as per question. It is the monobasic acid. Monobasic acid. Okay. That means if it is monobasic, its N factor definitely will be 1. Number 1. Okay. Its N factor will be 1. So N factor of this monobasic acid is 1. It's going to donate only 1 H positive. Now, as per the question, volume of 1.2 kilograms per liter solution of monobasic acid. As per the question, it's mentioned that in 1 liter of the solution, we have got 1.2 kg of acid. 1.2 kg of acid. That means we have got 1200 grams of solute, which is acid over here. So as per the question, in 1 liter of solution, we have got 1200 grams of acid. Perfect. Now, if I ask you, in the same 1 liter of solution, how many moles of acid will be there? It's going to be mass of acid divided by molar mass of the acid is also given to us, 24.2. So this is 24.2. Now it's going to be moles of acid. Perfect. Now people have a look exactly what I did. I got to know in 1 liter of solution, you have got these many moles of acid, right? And the number of moles of solute present in 1 liter of solution, that's what we call as molarity of the solution. So basically, the first acidic solution which we are given with, we got its molarity. So molarity of the acidic solution, which I'm representing with M1, molarity of the acidic solution, we got to know it's 1200 divided by 24.2, right? Now the question says, volume of this particular solution whose molarity is this much, we need to calculate, right? We need to calculate. Is needed to neutralize 25 ml of 0.4 molar NaOH. So now people have a look on how to approach this question furthermore. Have a look. So basically, you are making acid to react with a base. To react with a base. N factor of acid as well as base is 1. Okay, because the base is NaOH over here. Perfect. I'll be simply using the concept of milliequivalence. I'll say milliequivalence of acid reacted should be equal to the milliequivalence of base reacted. Perfect. Should be equal to the milliequivalence of base reacted. Milliequivalence of acid is just going to be normality of acid multiplied by volume of acid in milliliters. Should be equal. Milliequivalence of base, normality of base multiplied by volume of the solution in milliliters. Now people, what is the normality of acid? Since we got the molarity of the acid, n factor of acid is 1. N factor of acid is 1. Molarity multiplied by n factor gives you the normality. So normality of this acidic solution, it will be 1200 divided by 24.2 multiplied by V1, that's in ml, is equal to normality of the second solution, normality of the basic solution. Its molarity is given, its n factor is 1, so its normality will be 0.24 only, multiplied by its volume is given in ml, that's 25. Now people, have a look on this particular expression. You got one equation which contains one unknown, and the unknown is V1. So by solving this particular equation, you can easily get the value of V1, which you were supposed to calculate as far as the equation is concerned. I'm not exactly sure what exactly was the data. I'm sure data would have been simple. Okay, data would have been simple, right? Anyways, this is the equation from which you can easily calculate the value of V1. So basically, you were supposed to calculate the molarity of the acidic solution, right? And from that, you can calculate the normality of the acidic solution. Perfect. Then you use the concept of milliequivalence, right? Milliequivalence of acid reacted will be equal to the milliequivalence of base reacted. Equate the milliequivalence, get the value of volume. These sort of questions have been frequently asked in this question, people. I mean, in the past couple of year JEE mains examinations. All right. So this was one more question. I'm 100% sure you would have solved it properly. All right. What about this one? Just give me confirmation from the chats. What about this one? Which of the following are paramagnetic? In the last session also, in the yesterday's shift also, there was a question based on this. Yeah? There was a question based on this. Which of the following are paramagnetic in nature? My dear students, have a look. This is something which I'm sure every one of you would have done properly. First of all, we have got vanadium tripositive. Where is vanadium? Here it's vanadium, and vanadium tripositive configuration. Vanadium tripositive configuration. It's 3d2 configuration. This is titanium tripositive. Titanium tripositive configuration. It is 3d1 configuration, right? Chromium tripositive configuration. It is 3d3 configuration, right? Nickel tripositive configuration. It is 3d7 configuration, right? You were supposed to check which of the following are paramagnetic. Is that? Which of the following are paramagnetic? So 3d1 configuration, it contains 1 unpaired electron, right? 3d2 configuration, it contains 2 unpaired electrons. 3d3 configuration, it contains 3 unpaired electrons. 3d7 configuration, it contains 3 unpaired electrons. Perfect. It contains 3 unpaired electrons. So wherever do you see the unpaired electrons, that species is absolutely going to be paramagnetic. So all these 4 species, these are paramagnetic in nature, right? Yes? Titanium was not given, it was iron given. All right. If it was iron, chalo, I'll keep iron as well. Fe tripositive. Fe tripositive. Look at the configuration of Fe tripositive then. Look at the configuration of Fe tripositive. It is 3d5 configuration. Fe tripositive configuration is 3d5. Outermost configuration I'm talking about. Again, there are 5 unpaired electrons only, right? In 3d5 configuration. So it's also supposed to be paramagnetic only. Yeah? Instead of titanium, if it is iron tripositive, I'm leaving titanium aside. Okay? Alright, wait. This is not nickel tripositive. This is vanadium tripositive, so this is vanadium tripositive. Right? Leave the titanium aside if titanium was not asked. Okay, vanadium tripositive. Perfect. Then you have got chromium tripositive. This is chromium tripositive configuration. Then you have got nickel. Was nickel in tripositive state or dipositive state? Just confirm with me once. Was nickel in dipositive state or tripositive state? Once, quickly. Quickly, people. Was nickel in dipositive state or tripositive state? If nickel was in dipositive state, then this is the outermost configuration. If nickel was in tripositive state, then this is the outermost configuration. Anyways, what do we have? We have got unpaired electrons, right? Unpaired electrons means it's going to be paramagnetic, right? Then if you have Fe tripositive outermost configuration is 3d5, so there are 5 unpaired electrons. So absolutely it's going to be paramagnetic as well, right? So basically, the main point is you have to remember the outermost configurations of these species, You should know exactly how to write the outermost configuration of these species. Eventually, wherever the outermost configuration contains the unpaired electron, that's going to be paramagnetic. Wherever the outermost configuration does not contain the unpaired electron, it's going to be diamagnetic, right? That's a simple concept which you use. Perfect? Right, people? Some people are saying the question was calculate the magnetic moment. Anyways, that's also simple. If you want to calculate the magnetic moment, the formula is under root of n into n plus 2 Bohr magnetrons, where n represents the unpaired electrons. For example, you have got vanadium tripositive, 2 unpaired electrons. Put the value of n as 2, right? You have got chromium tripositive, 3 unpaired electrons. Put the value of n as 3. Solve it. Get the magnetic moment in Bohr magnetrons. Again, that's simple, guys. It's just you should know exactly how to get the unpaired electrons. That's all. Yeah? Okay. Give me some confirmation from the chats whether this question was asked or not. Which element does not exist in cubic close packing? Again, the question directly taken from your NCERT, my dear students. Lattice structures of transition metals. Lattice structures of transition metals. Yes? Was this the question asked? Yes or no? Quickly. Quickly. Well, some people, majority of the students are saying this question was not asked. All right. Anyways, if this question is asked also, you can, get this question from this particular table, right? For example, you have got Ag, right? You have got silver. Silver makes CCP structure, cubic close packing. Cubic close packing means FCC. You have got IR, right? IR makes CCP. You have got niobium. Niobium makes BCC. So have an I on this particular table as well. Okay. Well, majority is saying this question was not asked, so I'm going to keep it as such, but do have an eye on this sort of a table as well, because it's been very long from this table question has not been asked in JEE, so they can ask the question from this table as well. Okay, chalo, I'm moving to one more question. I'm moving on to one more question. Just a second, people. All right, just let me know in the chats whether this question was asked in the shift or not. Whether this question was asked in the shift or not. Quickly, people. Radius of second orbit of Li dipositive is x, then the radius of third orbit of B tripositive will be. Say yes or no quickly. I can see majority is saying yes, so let's try to solve it. It is the simplest among all, right? If you have seen the atomic structure videos on this channel itself, right? I have taught this many a times. Even Shreyas sir in modern physics, he has taught this many a times. Right? The simplest among all. So basically, as per this particular question is concerned, what do we have? We have got lithium dipositive and we have got beryllium tripositive. So we have got two single electron species. One is Li dipositive and one more is Be tripositive. Perfect. Let me call this as number 1. Let me call this as number 2, just to make it simple for you. Okay. We are talking about the second orbit of lithium dipositive. So second orbit of lithium dipositive, right? What is the atomic number of lithium? Hydrogen, helium, lithium. So atomic number of lithium is basically 3. Perfect. Radius of third orbit of beryllium tripositive. So N2 value is 3. Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium. Z2 value is 4. Atomic number is 4. Perfect. Now as per the question, the radius is given as x. I need to calculate the value of R2. Perfect. I'm sure every one of you will be knowing radius of the nth Bohr's orbit is always equal to R0 n square divided by z. Where R0 is equal to 0.529 angstroms. This is something every one of you must be knowing, right? Now people, what you exactly need to do, I can just compare the radii of these two species, right? I can say R1 divided by R2. R1 divided by R2 is equal to N1 square divided by N2 square multiplied by what? Multiplied by Z2 divided by Z1. Perfect. Now I can use a bit of calculation here. R1 value is given to me as x, R2 we need to calculate is equal to N1 ka square. N1 ka square comes out to be 4, N2 ka square comes out to be 9, Z2 value is 4 divided by Z1 value, that's 3. So x divided by R2 value is coming out to be 16 divided by 27. So R2 value is going to be 27 divided by 16 multiplied by x, right? So this is something which you were supposed to calculate. So it's absolutely going to be option A, which will be the correct answer of this particular question as well. Right, people? So let me know how many of you got it right. I'm sure majority would have solved it. I'm sure about that. Just say yes or no in the chats. Quickly, guys. Yeah, perfectly done. So it does not mean in the upcoming shifts the questions will be asked from the radius itself. No, the questions can be asked from comparison of velocities of the electrons in the Bohr's orbits, comparison of the time periods, comparison of the frequencies. So have a look on those formulae as well. Yes, I'm sure it will be +4 for majority. Anyways, moving on to one more. Let's see if we have more questions. All right, was this the question asked? Say yes or no quickly. Number of paramagnetic species. Number of paramagnetic species in the following. Was this the question asked? Simplest among all. Simplest among all. Say yes or no in the chats quickly. Quickly people, was this the question asked? Say yes or no quickly. Was this the question asked? Yeah? I can see majority is saying yes, only one student is saying no, but majority is saying yes only. This was the question which was asked. Number of paramagnetic species. Okay, so people, let's start with, I'll show you one of the examples, rest you can do, right? Because these are very simple and basic. So first of all, if you take the first case, over here, the oxidation state of nickel is dye positive. Now, if I ask you what is the outermost configuration of nickel? Iron, cobalt, nickel. Iron, cobalt, nickel. It's 3d8 4s2. 3d8 4s2. Take 2 electrons out. It is 3d8 configuration. It is 3d8 configuration, right? Now, if I make the 3d8 configuration over here, I'm showing the simplest way of solving this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? It's 3d8 configuration. The ligand which is attached here is a strong field ligand, and you know strong field ligand, it causes the pairing of electrons. It causes the pairing of electrons. So one of the electron will shift here. One of the electron will shift here. Perfect. Right? So there will be pairing. There will be pairing. Correct, people? There will be pairing. If there is pairing, there is no unpaired electron. So it's going to be diamagnetic in nature. NiCl4 dinegative. NiCl4 dinegative nickel again is in +2 oxidation state, right? Well, the outermost configuration of Ni dipositive, iron, cobalt, nickel, it's again 3d8. 3d8. And 3d8 configuration you are going to make in the similar way, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Now, the ligand attached is a weak field ligand, and your weak field ligand, it does not cause any sort of pairing. If it does not cause any sort of pairing here, so there'll be 2 unpaired electrons. Number of unpaired electron means, that means it's going to be paramagnetic in nature. In the similar way, you can check the rest. There is no exception in any of the case. Perfect. Wherever there will be unpaired electrons with the central metal ion, right? After considering the ligand, after considering the strength of the ligand, wherever there will be unpaired electrons with the central metal atom or ion, that's going to be paramagnetic, otherwise diamagnetic, right? Perfect. I mean, this sort of a question, I'm sure you would have easily solved. You want me to show any one of them? Do you want me to show any one of them? These are very simple, there is no exception in them, right? So I'm sure majority would have solved it properly. And we have seen these sort of questions. All right. Perfect. Just let me know, was this the question asked? Was this the question asked? Compare the basic strengths. Compare the basic strength. Was this the question asked? Say yes or no in the chats quickly. Quickly, people, quickly, quickly. All right, if this was the question asked, right, if there was no medium mentioned, that means he is talking about the universal solvent, aqueous medium. In case of aqueous medium, what is the order of the basic strength? You know, it is first 2 degree, then you'll be writing 1 degree, then it's going to be 3 degree. This is going to be the order, right? This is going to be the order. If there was no medium mentioned, that means you have to consider aqueous medium. Perfect. You have to take water as the solvent here. Perfect, people. So the answer is going to be 2 degree, then 1 degree, then 3 degree. Right? I'm sure majority would have solved this question properly. Yes? My dear people, it does not mean in the upcoming shifts the same question will be asked. In the upcoming shifts, maybe they'll provide the medium. They'll say in gaseous medium. They'll say in non-aqueous medium, where the order gets changed, right? Where it becomes 3 to 1. Right? Where it becomes 3 degree, 2 degree, then 1 degree. In the gaseous or non-aqueous medium. All right. Perfect, just a second. All right, just give me some confirmation. Was this the question asked? Give me some confirmation from the chats. Was this the question asked? Give me some confirmation, people, quickly. Which of the following shows least reactivity towards nucleophilic substitution reaction? So basically, nucleophile has to attack. What is a nucleophile? Nucleus-loving species. Nucleophile is a nucleus-loving species. So nucleophile is going to love the electron deficient species, right? Nucleophile is going to love the electron deficient species. Perfect. We have to see which of the following is the least reactive towards nucleophilic. We have to see which of the following is least reactive towards nucleophilic substitution. What do you think should be the answer of this question? What do you think? Over here, NO2, electron withdrawing. Two NO2 groups, electron withdrawing. NO2, NO2, right? My dear people, do you remember? Do you remember what we have to see exactly? We have to see which of the following shows least reactivity towards nucleophilic substitution. Nucleophile, if I talk about the nucleophile, nucleophile loves what? It is a nucleus-loving species. Let me write it. It is a nucleus-loving species. So it loves the electron deficient species. It loves the electron deficient species. So wherever electron deficiency is maximum, there only the reactivity is maximum. Wherever electron deficiency is minimum, right, there only, I must say, the reactivity towards nucleophilic substitution will be minimum. Perfect. Where is the electron deficiency minimum now? Where is the electron deficiency minimum? See, this NO2, it's present at the ortho position. At ortho, it operates -m. Para, -m. This is meta. At meta, -m, NO2 does not operate -m. It operates only -i, right? -i. Over here, -m. Perfect. So which one is the least electron deficient? So this is only -i, this is least electron deficient. Rest in every other case, it's -m. -m is more dominating than -i, right? So electron deficiency will be least in case of C. So wherever electron deficiency is least, there only the reactivity towards the nucleophile will be the maximum. Correct? So the answer of this question has to be option C. I'm sure you guys would have solved it properly, right? Let me see if I have more questions. Just a second. Let me see if I have more questions. All right, one more question we have, people. One more question. Just give me some confirmation whether this question was asked. Thionyl chloride on reaction with white phosphorus, it gives compound A. Thionyl chloride on reaction with white phosphorus, it gives compound A. Right? What is compound A? It's PCl3. Thionyl chloride on reaction with white phosphorus, it gives PCl3. A on hydrolysis with compound B, A upon hydrolysis. This PCl3 upon hydrolysis, it gives compound B, which is dibasic. Absolutely, H3PO4. Sorry, H3PO3. H3PO3 is dibasic because there are two hydrogen atoms which are attached with oxygen in case of H3PO3. Identify A and B. Absolutely, it's going to be option D only. So option D is going to be the correct answer of this particular question. Again, the question taken from NCERT, from the reaction part, right? So P4 plus SOCl2, it gives PCl3, and PCl3 upon hydrolysis, it gives H3PO3, which is dibasic. Its N factor is 2. Its N factor is 2. Two hydrogen atoms are attached with oxygen in case of H3PO3. I'm sure this question, every one of you would have solved. Okay? Just a second, guys. There is one more question which is right now being typed. Just a second. We'll solve this as well. I don't know what the question is. Okay, let them type it. Till then, we'll see some other questions if we have. All right, there has been one question from the antibiotics as well. Which of the following is not correct about antibiotics? Well, the one who sent this question, he couldn't remember the options. So we believe the question would have been asked from this particular paragraph. So please have a look properly on this antibiotics paragraph, and apart from that, the other drugs which we have, like histamines, tranquilizers, have proper eye on those paragraphs. I'm sure you can easily, right, get this question right, which is going to be asked in the upcoming shifts, right? In the last session also, one of the question was asked from antibiotics, tranquilizers, right, etc., etc. Perfect. You were supposed to match the following if you remember. So have an eye on these sort of questions as well. They can be asked. Perfect. So whosoever remembers the options, please go through this paragraph. From this particular paragraph, you'll get to know what is exactly the answer of the question. Yeah? All right, this is one question from electrochemistry. I don't know whether this is complete question or not. Let's see exactly. They have typed the question. Let's see what the question was. All right, we are given the complete cell. Find the ratio of concentration of Fe di positive to Fe tri positive. Fe tri positive. E cell is given, E naught cell is also given. Let's see exactly how to solve this question. People, if you remember, we have been solving these sort of questions many a times in the short session. I've solved many these type of questions on the basis of complete cell, right? See, first of all, this is the solid bridge over here. There might be any mistake in the calculations and etc., right? There might be any mistake in the values. You can check that out afterwards. I'll just show you the procedure. First of all, on the left side of the solid bridge, we have got anode. And at anode, what happens? Oxidation takes place. Oxidation of what? Oxidation of hydrogen is going to take place. So the reaction has to be H2 gas. It gives 2 times H positive aqueous plus 2 electrons. This is the reaction taking place at anode, right? Similarly, the reaction taking place at cathode. At cathode, what happens basically? Reduction takes place. At cathode, reduction takes place. Reduction means gain of electrons. So Fe tri positive is getting converted into Fe di positive. So it's Fe tri positive aqueous plus 1 electron. It gets converted into Fe di positive aqueous, right? So you got two reactions. Reaction at anode, reaction at cathode, right? Now people have a look. Are the electrons balanced here? The electrons are not balanced. So you are supposed to balance these electrons. So multiplying this reaction with 2. When you multiply this reaction with 2, this becomes 2 times, this becomes 2 times, this becomes 2 times, right? Now add the two reactions. When you add the reactions, what you'll be getting? You'll be getting H2 gas plus 2 times Fe tri positive aqueous. It gives 2 times H positive aqueous. 2 times H positive aqueous plus 2 times Fe di positive aqueous, right? This is the net reaction, people. This is the net reaction, correct? If this is the net reaction, let's try to write the expression for QC, reaction quotient. I'll write concentration of H positive raised by stoichiometric coefficient, that's 2, right? Multiplied by concentration of Fe tri positive raised by stoichiometric coefficient, that's 2, divided by partial pressure of H2 gas raised by stoichiometric coefficient, that's 1, multiplied by concentration of Fe tri positive raised by stoichiometric coefficient, that's 2, right? So till here, everyone would have solved it properly. Yes? Now, my dear students, what after this? What after this? See, as per the question, E cell value is given to us, E naught cell is also given to us, right? So I'll be simply using the Nernst equation. In the Nernst equation, you know, E cell is equal to E naught cell minus 0.0591 divided by N, and then it's going to be log of QC. Perfect. Well, E cell as per the equation is given to us as 0.712. This is 0.712 is equal to E naught cell is 0.771. It is 0.771 minus 0.0591 divided by N value is 2, and it's log of QC. Log of QC, right? What do I need to calculate? I need to calculate the concentration of, just a second, this is Fe di positive here, right? This Fe di positive, raised power 2, okay. Perfect. So if I talk about the QC expression, have a look. This would be this won't be 1 atm, this will be 1 molar. This will be 1 molar as per the question. So H positive concentration is 1 molar. Partial pressure of H2 is 1. So from here, you will be getting the concentration of Fe di positive raised whole divided by concentration of Fe tri positive whole raised power 2. Correct? So you have to put this value over here in place of QC and solve the equation and get the ratio of the concentration of Fe di positive to that of tri positive. This would have been a bit lengthy equation for you, but I'm sure you would have solved it properly, right? So this is the general procedure: reaction at anode, reaction at cathode. Calculate the N value, calculate the QC. This is the QC. Then write the Nernst equation. Everything is given. This is given. This is given. This is given. And in place of QC, what you will be writing? In place of QC, you will write concentration of Fe di positive divided by concentration of Fe tri positive whole raised power 2. Whole raised power 2. Then you use the property of log. It's log of m raised power and n log m, right? Everything is given. Just get the ratio of these two concentrations which you are supposed to calculate. I'm sure you would have solved it properly exactly, right? This is the procedure of solving the question. Let me see if I got more questions or not. Let me see if I got more questions or not. One question has been asked about the extraction of copper. Extraction of copper. Which of the following is not the part of extraction of copper? Again, the options are not given. So we believe the question would have been asked from this particular paragraph, right? So have an eye. The ones who remember the options, please and please go through this particular paragraph, from where you'll get to know exactly the options which were given to you, right? Which option was irrelevant about the extraction of copper, right? This is the particular paragraph from which you will get the question. if you remember the options. Perfect. The question which we got from the students, he couldn't, remember the options, so he just remembered the question. So that's why we came up with this particular paragraph, so that you can have a look on it afterwards. Perfect. And get the right answer. And if you remember in the last session also, a lot of questions. 2 questions were asked from the extraction part in the last session, people, if you remember. So extraction, have an eye on it, right? Extraction of different metals. Let's see if we have more questions. So this question is done. This question is done. This question is done. Basic strength is done. Antibiotics is done, right? Okay, was this the question asked? I'm surprised, by the way. Was this the question asked? I'm surprised with this. Ratio of density of oxygen 16 and helium to He24. I'm surprised with this question. I don't know, how they can ask this sort of a question. Can you let me know, was this the question asked? What kind of concept you can use here? Was this asked? Yes? Alright, if this was this asked in chemistry or physics? Maybe in physics they use some different approach of solving, but in chemistry we do not have such kind of things, right? The ratio of density of oxygen and helium, right? So I believe the question would have been asked from this particular table if it was asked from chemistry. But who remembers these values, guys? I don't know why this question was asked. Anyways, I'm sure majority would have got it wrong only. Yes? So density of oxygen is in grams per centimeter cube is 1.32, and the density of helium at STP in grams per centimeter cube is 1.8 in 10 raised power minus 4. So you have to take the ratio of these two, right? Maybe. Okay, this question was asked in physics, is that? Maybe there would have been some different other parameters asked, right? From the nuclear physics part, this question would have been asked, correct? If this is the question asked in physics, so Shreyas sir will come up with this. Perfect, but I don't think in chemistry they'll ask this sort of a question, because that means we have to remember the values which no one does, which no one can even I don't remember these values. Why will you? Right? So this would have been the question asked in physics, maybe some other things where data would have been given by means of which you would have to calculate the. Okay, this question is done, this question is done, this one is done, this one is done, half-life question is done, titration question is done. Alright, one more question, people. Was this asked? Reactions of NO2 in sunlight for photochemical smog. Was it asked? Yes? So if this is the question asked, what is the reaction of NO2 in sunlight? When NO2 in presence of HNO, it gives NO plus O, and this O upon reaction with O2 gives ozone, right? And that ozone upon reaction with NO gives NO2 plus O2, right? Perfect. So this is the reaction again. If you remember in the last shift, in the yesterday's shift, one question was asked from the photochemical smog, right? In the today's shift also, the question has been asked from the photochemical smog. So this is the short topic, guys, which you need to focus on more, okay? So again, question directly from NCERT. NO2 in presence of HNO gives NO, then the nascent oxygen which you get over here, upon reaction with O2 gives O3, O3 upon reaction with NO, it gives O2 and NO2 at the end. So one of the reaction would have been asked. Electron gain enthalpy is done. Graph of reaction concentration versus rate is done. Flame test is done. Preparation of phenol from cumulene is done. Right? Then you have got solid state question and lone pair question. So these were approximately 23 questions which we have solved, right? Now I think it's going to be Shreyas sir who will be coming up. Let me just ask him once. Just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. I'm just calling up Shreyas sir.
Hello.
Bro, you're done? 20 plus questions. So guys, chemistry we have solved around 23 to 25 questions. Now Shreyas sir is going to come up with around 20 to 25 questions from physics, right? So be there. Just a second, guys, just a second. I think I got one more question. Just a second. Shreyas sir, just give me 2 minutes. I got one more question, okay?
Okay.
Let me solve this one as well.
As soon as you end it, I will start.
Okay, done. Guys, just be with me. I got one more question. Just a second. How do I add the new slide here? New slide. Okay. All right. The question. Oh my God. Have a look. See what the question is. The question is like this, and this is the question which was basically asked yesterday in your physics section as well, right? Which graph is correct for isothermal process? Wow. See what the question is. This is pressure which you are plotting along y-axis, volume which you are plotting along x-axis, right? And these are three graphs which are given. This is T1, this is T2, this is T3, right? There is one more option that's given to us, and this option is like this. It is pressure, for example. This is volume. These are three straight lines that are given. So T1, T2 and T3. Perfect. Option C is saying, option C says it's pressure, this is volume. These are three hyperbolas that are given to us, right? Hyperbolas that are given to us. So this is T1, this is T2, this is T3, right? Then we have got option D over here. Option D over here, this is pressure, and along this axis again volume. So again three hyperbolas are given, and here it's mentioned that it is T3, it is T2, it is T1. Now in the question it's saying which graph is correct for isothermal process if, which graph is correct for isothermal process if T3 is greater than T2 is greater than T1, right? So we have to see which graph is valid. First of all, you know, as per your Boyle's law is concerned, pressure is inversely proportional to volume, correct? Whenever you need to make a curve between two variables which are inversely proportional to each other, the nature of the curve is going to be hyperbola, right? Whenever you need to make a curve between two variables which are inversely proportional to each other, the nature of the curve is going to be hyperbola. So this cannot be the answer, this cannot be the answer. Answer can be either C or D. Now you have to see which one is correct, right? Now people, let me show you the general approach of solving this question. For example, have a look over this one. Have a look over this one. See how do we approach this. So first of all, what you will be doing exactly, one simple approach I'll show to solve these sort of questions basically. You have to draw a straight line parallel to your pressure axis, right? Okay, mark these points, and corresponding to these points, get the values of pressure. Let's call this as P1, let's call this as P2, let's call this as P3. Now, if you look at the y-axis, pressure axis, you can see P3 is greater than P2, which is greater than P1. Now, use the ideal gas equation, P is equal to nRT divided by V. Now, people, since you have drawn a straight line parallel to y-axis, that means you are keeping the x parameter constant, you are keeping the volume constant, right? Moles, R is also constant. So, pressure is directly proportional to temperature. So, wherever pressure is more, temperature will be more. So T3 will be greater than T2, will be greater than T1. Perfect? Right? So done and dusted? Correct, people? Correct? I'm sure this is clear to everyone? I'm sure this is clear to everyone. So this is T3, this is T2, this is T1. Yeah? Okay. Just a second. Perfect. So electrochemistry question we have done. This is also done. Perfect, guys. So this was all about chemistry section. Now Shreya sir is going to join in, right? He'll be solving some 20 to 25 questions with you for physics, and later on maths teacher will join in and he'll be solving the questions for the maths, right? So wishing you all the luck for the ones who are going to write the JEE examination in the upcoming shifts. So keep on watching the short shots which we have taken, because you can see majority of the questions, majority of the patterns of the questions have been directly taken from the short shot which we have already given you like before 3-4 days, right? Few questions have been taken from the formula revision sessions which me and Shreya sir particularly did on this channel, right? Same goes for physics, same goes for chemistry. Perfect. So have a proper eye on those particular sessions, watch them again, watch the short sessions in physics, chemistry and maths, chemistry formula revisions, physics formula revisions, right? They are definitely going to help you out in order to boost up your ranks, right? So take care, guys. This was all from my side. Now Shreya sir is joining in. You guys take care. Shreya sir.
Yeah.
Up to you. Okay. Bye-bye.
Looks like I'm audible and visible. Welcome everyone for the physics discussion with me, Shreyas, your physics master teacher at Vedantu, going live. And I was just going through the questions, and it seems that many of the patterns, many of the models have been discussed even before, and I was really happy to see it. So, you know, I was just talking to a few students also some time back, and they were like, sir, it can't be this straightforward, but it turned out to be true. Even the maths was relatively simple. So it's over and all, a good shift for all the students who are given this today morning, and hopefully other shifts also benefit from today's discussion, because many questions have been repeated from not just the shifts but also the previous year's papers and also our sure shots, our formula sessions, just like Wasim sir said. So are you guys ready? Good afternoon everyone, and I'm going to start the discussion, but what I'm really disappointed with this. Live watching 400 and likes 200. Come on, I want 200 plus likes right now. I want 200 more likes. Come on, we'll start the discussion, guys. Good afternoon Isharan, good afternoon Lakshmi, hello Vineet, hello Gundi, hello Saikiran, hello Vineet, hello Ben. Nice to see all of you out here. Good evening, good afternoon, sorry. So those of you who do not know me, my name is Shreyas, your physics master teacher, and the entire PDF of today's discussion will be available to you on the Telegram channel. Link is there below in the description box. Okay, so smash the like button. Already done. Hello Aishwarya, hello Padmaja. Nice to see you guys back. Hello Tamil, hello Pranati, hello Ishran, hello KNK. Chalo, let's start the discussion. Here it comes, my dear students. Find the de Broglie wavelength when a charge is accelerated through a potential difference to V, and it was lambda naught, and the charge is now accelerated to potential V. Wasn't this the similar pattern question which came in yesterday's evening shift? Very similar question. So it's, come on guys, you should be able to do it if you have attended that class as well. Find the de Broglie wavelength when you accelerate a particle. Now we know the de Broglie wavelength is h by the momentum, and the momentum is nothing but root of 2 times m times kinetic energy, and the kinetic energy of the particle can be written down as charge into the voltage difference. So you can clearly see that the de Broglie's wavelength is inversely proportional to the root of the potential difference. Now once you get this pointer, you can see that if it was accelerated through 2v, and now it is given that if it was earlier accelerated by v and then the wavelength was lambda naught, the whole idea is lambda by lambda naught will be root of, so for lambda naught it was v, for lambda it is 2v, so vv cancels, so lambda by lambda naught is 1 by root 2, or rather lambda is equal to lambda naught divided by root 2. Options, which is correct? Option D. Yes, that's what you get. Option D, guys. Lambda naught by root 2. Is that okay, everyone? Video is not coming. Just check once more. It should be coming, my dear students, because it is showing right over here. And come on, smash the like button. It's not good when you attend classes over here. What happens is you have to show that love, that affection, that support towards the channel. Okay, all it is going to cost you is one small click. It is hardly going to cost you 1 second of your life, but you know, it motivates us. It shows your love, or else why else would we be here on YouTube, right? We are already teaching in our regular classes. So guys, you need to make sure not just you like, but also talk about the JEE English channel with your batchmates, with your friends in your coaching or in your community. Make sure you do that. Awesome. Let's begin the next discussion question coming up on your screen, and here it is. I think it's a matrix type. So physical quantities and the units. This kind of question also came in yesterday's lecture, but it was modern physics. Like there was work function, there was Planck's constant and stopping potential and God knows what. So all those things were there. So very similar question. So expect these kind of questions in matrix type, units and dimensions and errors. So expect these kind of questions, guys. The correct answer for this is B. Let's try to figure out how do we do it basically. Pressure, if you talk about it, pressure is nothing but force by area. Force is nothing but Newton, area is nothing but meter square. Newton is mass into acceleration. So kg into meter per second square, and this meter square is also there below. So it will just become kg, and you will have meter raised to -1, second raised to -2. So pressure will be kg, meter raised to -1, second raised to -2. So you can see A goes with 4. So you can clearly see A goes with 4. Similarly, you can do for every other thing like impulse. Impulse is nothing but force into time. That is what you're going to use. For coefficient of viscosity. For coefficient of viscosity, what is the formula that you are going to use, guys? You can use F is equal to 6 pi eta RV. So basically eta will have the same dimensions as that of force divided by, take radius below and also take velocity below. So just put their dimensions or units, and accordingly you will be able to find for viscosity as well. Correct? And lastly, for angular momentum, my dear students, for angular momentum you can use, angular momentum is mRV. You know this is nothing but kg, you know this is nothing but meter, this is nothing but meter per second. So this will be kg meter square second inverse. So that's what it is going to be. D is going to go with, just check this out, meter square second inverse. So that is basically third. Okay, so that's how you are supposed to do this question. The viscosity coefficient of viscosity goes with 2. So this should go over here. And this remaining part, impulse, you can see it is force into time, basically Newton into time. So kg meter per second square into second. So that's all you're going to get. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you can just match this over here like this. Okay, everyone with me? Simple? Done, done? Yes, Dharni, I know you cannot like it more than once, I know. Thank you for your love and it shows your affection. Done? Great. Last one is momentum, not angular momentum. See, if it was just momentum, then what will you do? If it was just momentum, it is just mass into velocity, so it will be just kg into meter per second. That's all. So if it was momentum, if it is angular momentum, then you will use kg meter square per second inverse. Okay, great. Moving on to another question, guys, coming up on your screen. Hello Manisha, good afternoon. Done, Sri Nakita Tota, very good. I hope Jawar, even the Feb 1 paper is as easy as this. Really hope so. A ball of mass this much is placed in a tunnel. Find the time period of SHM. Now, whenever you have this kind of a problem, this is standard question. If you have been attending my nurture series, I have done this question also over there. So you make a diametrical tunnel like this, and there is a mass somewhere over here. Okay, and this mass right now is at certain distance x from the center. Then the force which will act on it, the gravitational force which acts on it, is given by G capital M small m divided by the radius of the Earth's cube into x. This is like spring force. F is equal to kx. So one might even look at this entire thing like a spring constant. F is k into x. So this is like a spring constant. So therefore you can just say the time period is 2 pi under root m by k. So this will be 2 pi under root mass by the spring constant is over here g small m capital M, and you have r cube. This m and this m will cancel. So I'm just left with 2 pi root of r cube by gm. But that is not how the answer is. The answer is in terms of g. The answer is in terms of g. Is the formula revision helpful for all the chapters you know already? Definitely. That is why it is there. It is called revision, so that you revise those chapters. Okay, so in order to get this in terms of g, what I do is write it as r square by gm into r, because I know one more thing. This I can write it as r by gm. This r square I bring it below. This whole thing is actually small g. Acceleration due to gravity is gm by r square. So 2 pi root r by g. 2 pi root r by g, guys. Option C. C for Captain Shreyas again. There you go. Can we progress from my sure shot sessions? Definitely, Pranati. Also watch my previous year's sure shots as well as the mock tests. Okay. So these mock tests as well as the sure shot and the predictor series, whatever we had done, make sure you watch them, because those questions are high weightage, high important model questions, because these patterns keep getting repeated again and again. Also watch all the discussions which are going on, because from one shift to another shift also patterns are getting repeated. Like you saw in the units and dimensions question, every time they are asking in the match the following, what is the dimension, what is the unit of this and this. So you can expect those questions. Okay, this question also was asked in the previous shift, but in a very different way, where you had to find the directions or relative positioning of electric field, magnetic field and the velocity of light. So you can see over here the electromagnetic wave is going in the z direction. It is having electric field in the positive y direction. What is the direction of the magnetic field, my dear students? Everybody should be able to get this answer. Everybody should be able to give this answer. Very straightforward question, guys. See if you got the answer as option B, minus I cap. Minus I cap. The difficulty level will be same, M. Dhanush. So we all know that when you have electric field, you have magnetic field perpendicular to it, and the velocity of light even perpendicular to them. In fact, C vector is parallel to E cross B vector. Not equal to, I would say parallel. It's parallel to the E cross B vector. So notice over here, it is already mentioned that the light is going in the Z direction. So this is basically K cap, and over here electric field is in the Y direction. That means it is J cap. So J cross what is going to give you K cap? J cross what is going to give you K cap? If you have forgotten IJK, if you write it like this, you will quickly get the answer, guys. J cross I will give you minus K. So when you go like this, it is always negative, remember that. So over here, this should be basically minus I cap. So J cross minus I will be plus K. Remember, when you go like this, it is positive in this direction. Clockwise is positive, anti-clockwise is negative. So I cross J is K. J cross K is I. J cross I is minus K. So J cross minus I will be minus of minus K. So it will become plus K. Hence, that is the answer. Everyone with me? In the question, if it was in minus Z direction, then you choose minus K. Then the correct answer will be plus I. Hai na? Understood? Aditya, Shivakumar, is that okay? Everyone with me? Awesome. I'm so glad, Ben, 10 aliens drawing. I made your heart smile and my eyes shine. Oh my God. Thank you. Done, Sri Nikhil, Nikita Thota. Okay, moving on to another question. A standard model question. If you have attempted 2021 papers, you will see Carnot's engine's efficiency question has come repeatedly, many times, and even in the sure shot weightage session, I told guys, please do thermodynamics and KTG, very important and high weightage. So let's see how to do this question. Efficiency is basically 1 minus T cold by T hot. That is the standard formula. Starting it with the 50% efficiency, that means it is basically 0.5 is equal to 1 minus T cold and the source, that means the hot temperature is basically 600. Okay, so bring Tc by 600 on the other side. So you will have 1 minus 0.5 over here, which is basically 0.5. So basically Tc will be 0.5 into 600. So basically it is just going to be 300 Kelvin. Basically it is just going to be 300 Kelvin. Everybody with me on this? Everybody with me on this? Perfect. Okay, but that is not the end story. What is the end story? When you increase the efficiency from 50% to 70%, then what is the new sink temperature? Sink means this, cold temperature required. Sink is where the coldness is and source is where the hotness is going to be there. So next time the efficiency is 0.7 and then you have 1 minus the cold temperature, I do not know, the new cold temperature upon, okay, what do we have? Okay, for the same sink temperature. Oh, sorry, my bad. We are given the sink temperature, we have to find the source temperature, my bad. What should be the source temperature if the sink temperature is same? So the sink temperature, I'm going to put it as 300. I want to know what is the new source temperature. Source is the hotness, sink is the coldness, standard thing. Okay, so move this around. So this will be nothing but 300 by TH, 300 by TH, and 1 minus 0.7. 1 minus 0.7 is going to be 0.3, which is basically 3 by 10. So that is basically 300 by TH, guys. And this 3 and 300 will cancel with 100 times. So TH will be 10 multiplied by 100. So this is going to be 1000 Kelvin. This is going to be 1000 Kelvin. That is the hot temperature. Let's check it out. If it is correct, option C, yes, it is correct. You also have the solution slide over here for your reference later on. Very good, Pranati. You knew it already. Awesomeness. Awesomeness. Sri, Dhanush, Anjil. Very good. Awesome. So how many of you have watched the discussion sessions on this channel which were done last year? If you have watched it, you know so many of these things look very familiar. And if you have watched my high weightage scoring chapter 7-minute video which is there on this channel, you would have realized Thank God I watched those lectures, and thank God I did those topics in particular. Now it is saving my day and giving me so many marks in JEE Physics. Great, looks like many of you have done it. Why you didn't add upcoming live to the paper discussion of 29? Lakshmi, 29 January is a Sunday. It's little bit difficult to assemble a team on that particular day, but still I will try. One thing I can promise, 29 January, even if the live discussion does not happen, I will send you the PDF of the questions. Is that okay? Lakshmi, don't spam. I can read even if you put it once. So I will send you the PDF of the entire question paper with answers and solutions. All right, everyone? Great. Very easy, Ishran. It is very easy. Okay, sorry, I posted the answer anyways. If T is the temperature of the gas, then the RMS speed of the gas is proportional to. This kind of question has come in the JEE mains paper. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Yes, option is A. Of course, we all know that RMS velocity is root of 3 RT by capital M, molar mass. So Vrms is basically proportional to the root of the temperature in absolute terms. That's Kelvin. So T raised to half should be the answer. Excellent. I mean 4 marks just given as bonus to every one of you. Every one of you. Thank you, asterisk 007. Okay, moving on to next question coming up on your screen. For all those who have their exams on 31st, 29th, 30th, 1st Feb, your admit cards will come just 2 days before. That's what I feel, or maximum 1 day before. So, okay, so wait till then because now there is a holiday gap between. So generally they release admit cards 2 days before. Okay, so don't get tensed. It will come. The period of the pendulum on the Earth's surface is T. What is the time period of the pendulum at a distance around the center, which is twice the radius of the Earth? So basically, from the Earth center, you are at a distance of 2r. At this point, I should find out what is the gravity at that height. Only then I can find the time period. So gravity at that height is basically given by nothing but, maybe I can just write gm by r plus h whole square formula. So that will be gm upon r plus h will be 2r. So 2r's whole square, which is nothing but gm by 4r square, which is acceleration due to gravity on Earth divided by 4. So the acceleration due to gravity has reduced 4 times when you go up by height h. So this is the planet of radius r. Okay, you have gone up by a radius or by a height of r. So total distance is 2r. So r plus r is 2r. That's how I got 2r over here, in case you are wondering about it. Next pointer is, what about the time period? Time period is 2 pi root of L by G. So time period is inversely proportional to root of G. So the new time period T2 by the old time period T1 will be root of G1 by G2. So my dear students, original gravity was G0, new gravity is G0 by 4. So basically 4 goes on the top and G0 cancels. So root of 4 is T2 by T1. So T2 is basically T1 times of 2. Root 4 is 2. So 2 times, option D, of course. It is 2 times the old time. Exactly, Dhanush. Yes, Dharni, very good. No, it is not option B, it is D. Yes. Okay, okay. Which NEET physics and chemistry? NEET physics and chemistry will be even easier than this. If JEE papers are like this, so you can imagine how easy NEET physics papers will be. You know? So in case if you are giving the NEET exam. And those of you are wondering, am I teaching for NEET also? Yes, I am teaching for NEET students as well on the English channel, NEET English channel, the Vedantu NEET English channel. Make sure you check that out or recommend your friends who are, studying for that. Can you use 1 minus 2h by Re? No, do not use that. Very good, you asked it. Why you cannot use that formula? GH is equal to G0, okay, 1 minus 2h by R. Why you cannot use? Because for this, h should be much smaller than r. Only then you can use it, because here height is comparable to r. That's why avoid that and use the more exact formula. Okay, the Ekalavya link is there in the description box. Sai Kumar, okay, it's there in the description box. Cheat codes video I have already put. Okay, there are no new cheat codes that I can create. Watch the old videos only. Have you watched it? Rumi FF. If you have not watched it, please watch it. Okay, what about this? A particle moves half the distance with speed v1 and other distance by v2. What is the average speed? Such a standard basic question which is always done in the class when speed, distance, time is taught to you. So basically it moves half the distance. Let's say this is d distance with speed v1, it takes time t1. The remaining half distance d, it will take speed v2 and time t2. So now the question is, what is the average speed? So the average speed will be total distance, which is d plus d, upon total time, which is t1 plus t2. So this will be nothing but 2d divided by what is t1 and t2. Time is distance by speed. Time is distance by speed, and distance by speed over here. So d cancels, d cancels. So 2 divided by 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. So I think you can take LCM and all of that. So this will become 2 divided by v1 plus v2 divided by v1 v2. Bring v1 v2 on the top. So it will be 2 v1 v2 divided by v1 plus v2. That is your average speed, my dear students. Yep, Salar 26 says option A. Very good. That is indeed option A. It is standard pattern question. Manjula, I'll tell you, paper prediction for February 1st. Watch all these sessions. I am telling you, at least 20 to 40% of the paper will look like predicted. Nearly half paper will look like predicted. You are the luckiest batch because you are going to give it on 1st February. You will have a good idea. Watch every discussion session going on onto this channel. Okay? Sai Kumar, it is not there. Okay, I'll make sure that it is up on the in the description box later on after the session is over. Okay? There are 2 videos which I have done. How to guess answers, how to basically what are the cheat codes of any kind of exam. There are 2 videos. Watch both the videos. I have already done. Find the ratio of density of helium nucleus and calcium nucleus. This came in the previous session. Day 1, this question has come in a different way, actually to find the density of the nucleus. That was more dangerous question. Calculations were there. Here nothing. Density of every nucleus is basically going to be a constant. It's basically a constant. It can be easily proved that it is the total mass of the nucleus upon the volume, which is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Mass of the nucleus is atomic mass unit, unit, okay, multiplied by the total number of protons or neutrons inside that nucleus divided by 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now you know that radius cube is nothing but what is the formula, guys? It is having a formula of r naught a raised to 1/3. This r, right, that you see over here as a formula r naught a raised to 1 by 3. So when you cube it, you will get r naught cube and you will get a over here. You will see that this a and this a will cancel and you will basically get a constant number. This is constant, that means it is basically 1:1. Doesn't matter whether you take helium, calcium, iron, molybdenum, whatever you take, all densities are same. Doesn't matter Pareru, whether it is oxygen or calcium, doesn't matter. Helium, doesn't matter. It's going to be the same, right? 1:1. Definitely, Sai Kumar. And you can do one more thing, Sai Kumar. Just on this channel only, you can just search for Eklavya videos. Like when you are watching this video also, you can do it later on as well. It's up to you how you want to do it. Just click over here and just search for Eklavya 2023. Okay, just search for it. I have made an announcement. You can see that right over here. Okay, just click on this video and you will find the link in the description box as well. Okay, oops, I think I've gone into the admin account. I'm so sorry, but okay, yeah, you get the point. Is that okay, bacha? All right, moving on to the next question coming up on your screen, and here it is. Great. So here is the next question. The car is going with a constant speed and radius r. The pendulum is suspended from the ceiling of the car. Find the angle made by the pendulum. So let's try to visualize what is exactly happening. This is your car. There is a pendulum which makes an angle, okay, with the vertical. Let's say I call it theta. Okay, this is the wheel of the car. Let's say like this, and the car is going in a turn, in a curved track. There is some radius over here of the track, and the car is going with certain velocity v. What happens is, it's as if saying the car is actually accelerating towards the center and there is acceleration due to gravity also downwards. there is acceleration towards the center, and there is acceleration due to gravity downwards. So if you think about it logically, this scenario is just like saying there is a box and there is a pendulum inside, and the pendulum makes an angle theta, and it is mentioned that the box is accelerating with A, then what is the angle made? This is a standard question. You should know the formula. The formula is tan theta is equal to acceleration of the box, left or right, divided by acceleration due to gravity. As simple as that. In this case, that tan theta, which is A by G, this A will be the centripetal acceleration. So here what I will put is V square by R and then G over here, because this acceleration is going to be the centripetal acceleration. Centripetal acceleration. Everybody agrees with this? When you turn on a curved road, it's as if saying the box or the car or the vehicle is accelerating towards the center. It's just like a box which is naturally accelerating, and the pendulum shifts behind making some angle. That's all. Is that okay? Nikhil Sairam, if you spam, I'm not going to answer, bacha. Okay. Now, just substitute the values, whatever is given. I think speed is given, G is given, and everything is given. What else you need? So just put 2 square over here. All right. Radius is basically 8 by 15. Radius is basically 8 by 15. Value of G is basically 10. So solve this and see what is the final answer. Manisha, just go to advanced setting in YouTube and make sure you select 480 or 720p. Then you will be able to see everything clearly, guys. What is the answer that you are getting? Come on, figure it out. Option D. Is it? No, I don't think it is option D. Check if it is option C. It is 37 degrees. So if it is tan theta, guys, just check if you are getting tan theta as 3 by 4 over here. Just check it out. 10 and 15. This will go with 5 times. This will go with 5 times. Come on, my dear students. This will go with 5 times. This will go 3 times. That 3 will go on the top. 2 square is 4. This will go 2 times. Yes, 2 2s are 4 and 3 goes on the top. It is 3 by 4. That means the correct answer should be 37 degrees. Definitely. Okay. So if this was the data point, then that is the answer. If the data points were something else, then the answer will be different. These are memory based questions. I'm pretty sure you understand that the actual concept is more important than the values in these questions. Moving on to the next question coming up on your screen. Here it is. Acha, don't worry, Paleru, Naga, what, it doesn't matter. Even if the radius is 40 meters, what difference does it make? Only the answer will change, right? Concept is going to be the same. Okay. So phase difference between two light waves is 60 degrees and the distance between their source of origination is 10 nanometer. What is the velocity of light if the frequency is this much? See, there is one light like this, and their difference of their origination, that means source 1 and source 2. Source 1 and source 2 are separated by how many meters? 10 nanometers actually. So 10 nanometers. So because of this, there is going to be a phase difference. That is going to be 2 pi by lambda into delta x. Now, is the wavelength given? No, I think we can find the wavelength from this. Okay, so we can find the wavelength from this. The phase difference is given to be 60 degree. 60 degrees in the radians is pi by 3 radians. Pi by 3 radians. So put pi by 3 over here is equal to 2 pi divided by lambda. The path difference is 10 nanometers. So just put 10 nanometers over here. Now you can clearly see pi and pi gets cancelled. All right. So I just want the value of lambda, right? So lambda will be, take this 3 on the top. So 3 into 2 into 10 nanometers. So basically it will be nothing but 3 2s are 6. So 60 nanometers. Just check this out. So lambda will be 60 nanometers. Is that right? Yep, 60 nanometers. And what is the last part? Acha, find the velocity of the light. So velocity of the light is asked, my dear students. So V is equal to F lambda. So frequency is F. Lambda is 60. So that's it. So it will be F into 60 nanometers per second. You can substitute the value of frequency. I don't know what was the frequency given. You can just substitute it. Yep. So I don't know, guys. You guys should tell me what's the value of the frequency given. If the value of frequency was given, just substitute it. Remember, whatever I have found out is nanometers per second. Okay. It is nanometers per second. Okay. Everything. Cool. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Plus 4 Aisha Lina, perfecto. Looks like it was your shift today. Great. Acha, it is not coming. Acha, okay. Sai Kumar, actually the thing is, right now Ekalavya entries are not happening, but Ekalavya entries will start after the mains is over. Maybe that Telegram link will be active or something like that, but the tests or the entry points are over. It's done. Now the entry points are only going to happen via the JEE mains percentile. So I think you should wait for a week or so till the time the results are declared. Moving on. LC oscillator frequency omega, inductance is made 2 times, capacitance is made 8 times. What is the new value of omega? Okay, so here is what you're going to do. Omega for basically a LC oscillator, the formula is 1 over root of LC, 1 over root of LC. Now think what has happened over here. The inductance is made 2 times, so this is made 2 times. Capacitance is made how many times? 8 times. Is made 8 times. So totally it has been made 16 times. So basically it has been made how many times? Root of 16. Root of 16 is nothing but 4. But that 4 is in the denominator. That 4 is in the denominator. So omega has been multiplied how many times? 1 by 4 times. Omega has been multiplied 1 by 4 times. That is option B. Option B. Yes, that's the correct one. Does numerical have negative marks? Yes, Bandaru. Numerical questions do have negative marks. Even the objective questions have negative marks. So, the pattern is like that. In case if you want to verify it also, you can go to the JEE mains website, NTA website. I was checking it out yesterday only. So all the questions have negative marks. Okay, so keep that in mind. Ishwaran, everyone, Raga Kavita, everyone, yeah. Okay, so for LC oscillation, it is always at resonance. Jawahar, okay, understand one thing. LC oscillator is a free oscillation. It's like a normal spring mass system. It will oscillate on its own at this frequency. When you connect it to AC source, then it becomes a forced oscillator. The forced oscillator can have any frequency. That forced oscillator only at resonance will have this frequency. So understand the difference between the two. Is that okay? So this is a free oscillation. LC oscillation is a free oscillation. It has its own natural frequency. There is no other frequency involved. When you apply AC voltage or current, then it is a forced oscillation. It can oscillate at any goddamn frequency, but only when it is producing maximum power, maximum current, then it is resonating, and that is this frequency. Moving on to another question. Look at this. 2 questions on LCR circuit. Pranati, it will come. No, bacha, you know it, na? PDFs of all the sessions will come later on. Don't worry about it. Concentrate on the class. Okay, LCR circuit, guys. The self-inductor to be connected in the circuit for which the circuit has maximum current. This is basically a forced LC oscillation, and it is basically resonating. Why do I say it is resonating? Because maximum current is given. Hence, we again know omega is 1 by root of LC. What is asked? What is the value of the self-inductance? So square both sides. Omega square will be 1 by LC. Therefore, L will be, take L on the top, omega square below. L will be 1 by omega square into C. That is what your answer should be. Option C. There you go. Such a simple question, and can you believe 2 questions have come? 2 questions have come from LC oscillation in the same paper. I don't know what were they thinking, but it's good. Can we get marks only by just watching previous year questions, exploring? Definitely not. You will just keep exploring, then you will not get marks. You will probably get 40 marks or something, 50 marks, not more than that. Okay, just PYQs. If you do, you will not get marks. You have to do everything else. Moving on to the next one. Okay, in the diagram shown, a rod of mass 2 kg is supported with a string attached as shown, with a 8 kg mass suspended from it. The wall support is fixed. Find the tension in the string making angle 30 degrees with the horizontal. Complete question on free body diagram, equilibrium and torques. That's what I feel. If you notice in the free body diagram, there will be tension over here. And I think there are certain weights. There is a 2 kg mass supported with a string. I think the 2 kg weight was here, if I'm not wrong. Just see if the 2 kg weight was here or something else. I'm just going to go to the other slide and see. Oh no, 2 kg weight is at 50 centimeters, and tension is at 60 centimeters and 8 kg weight is at the end, which is basically okay. So I think in the diagram certain things are missing. Let me just show it over here. So there is basically 2g weight, and that is at a distance of 50 centimeters. This tension is at 60 centimeters, and this 8 gram is basically at 1 meter or 100 centimeters. That's how it is. Okay, so there is this 8g weight as well over here. Now this tension will have two components, one component here and the other component here. If this is 30 degrees, this will be T sine 30, and that is what is important for you. Now all you need to understand is that this object is in equilibrium. It has been held by the string. So if I measure the torque about this point, if I measure the torque about this point P, so the net torque about point P should be 0 because it is in equilibrium. So this 2g will give a torque like this. So that 2g will give a torque like this, which is clockwise. So I will make it, let's say, positive. So it is 50 multiplied by 2g. Then tension sine 30 will give a torque anti-clockwise. So minus, that will be at a distance of 60 into T sine 30. T sine 30, that is anti-clockwise. Remember, this was clockwise. Okay. Lastly, that 8g is going to give a clockwise torque. So I will again put it as positive at a distance of 100 centimeters. So into 8g. This answer should be 0. That's it. Solve it and you will get the answer. Solve it and you will get the answer. You should get it as 300 Newton. Okay. This part I leave it up to you. So that is basically 300 Newton. Everyone with me? Is that okay, guys? Everyone with me on this? Awesome. P. Sujay and Raghuram Reddy, concentrate on the session. Stop chatting like this. Where are you? What are you doing, man? Manish Reddy, baby girl, you are talking. What is this? I'll ask the admin to block you then. Okay. Chalo. So this was the question. All right, all completely based on equilibrium. Awesome. Moving on to the next question. A parallel plate capacitor of capacitance C has plate area this much, separation this much, dielectric slab is placed. Then what is the new capacitance? Let's have a look at it. First of all, when you have a parallel plate capacitor, the original capacitance will be epsilon naught into area divided by D. D is the separation, and there is nothing in between. The moment you add something in between, let's say a slab of dielectric constant basically 4. Dielectric constant is basically 4. Then, I think this was not 5, guys. This was supposed to be 4. Okay. Or else I don't think you will get the answer. Okay, so this was a dielectric constant of 4 and the thickness is also 4 millimeters. This is 4 millimeters because this entire gap was 5 millimeters. This entire gap was originally basically 5 millimeters. So the original capacitance will be epsilon naught A by D, D being 5 millimeters. The remaining part which is in air, will be nothing but just 1 millimeter, yes or no? This will be just 1 millimeter, yes or no? Okay. Now what is the new capacitance? The new capacitance will be nothing but epsilon naught into area divided by whatever part is in air. Just write it down as it is. How much is in air? It is 1 millimeter. How much part is in the dielectric? 4 millimeters. But since it has a dielectric material in between, constant is 4 divided by the dielectric constant. So how it works is basically this formula. The capacitance will be epsilon naught area by D1 plus D2 plus D3 like this, and divided by K1 divided by K2 divided by K3. That's what the exact formula is. when there are multiple layers or slabs in between or partially filled slab. That's also okay. So this is actually placed in air, so the dielectric constant of air is nothing but 1. So actually speaking, it is 1 by 1 and this is 4 by 4. I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear. Everyone with me on this? Everyone with me on this? Pakka, let me know guys. Everyone with me on this? Awesome. So what will you get over here? You will get epsilon naught A by 1 by 1 is 1, 4 by 4 is 1, 1 plus 1 is basically 2. So this is the new capacitance, this is the old capacitance. The question is how many times will be the new capacitance? Just divide the value of C new divided by the C old. C new is basically epsilon naught A by 2 and old one is epsilon naught A by 5. So epsilon naught A cancels, 5 will go on the top, 2 will come below, which is basically 2.5 times. So it is 2.5 times. 2.5 times. That's what the correct answer is. Perfecto. Sir, we will not change millimeters to meters. Not needed, Harshini. Why do you need it? Because it's a question on ratio and proportions. Whenever ratio and proportions come, the dimensions, the units will automatically get cancelled. Don't have to worry about it. So don't even have to substitute the value of area. Don't even have to substitute the value of epsilon naught. Everything is getting cancelled out. 2 is in millimeters, 5 is also in millimeters. Seeing the cancellations, so that's the best part about it. Sir, why won't we get the answer was 5? Is there any condition? No, Jayashree, you will get the answer even if it is 5, but it will not match with the options. It will not match with the options. Okay, so that correction, there is a typing error over here. There is a typing error over here. So you will not get this answer if you choose this as 5. That's what I meant. It's not that it can't be 5. It can be 5. You will get a new value of capacitance. That's all. Awesome. Okay, moving on to the another question. The half-life of the radioactive material is 30 minutes. Find the time taken for 75% of the completion of the process. Jawahar, if the metallic slab is inserted, right, then the value of K that you will choose is infinity. So that part which has a metallic slab, dielectric constant of a conductor is infinity. Any number by infinity is 0. So that term only will vanish. That term will vanish, okay, in that summation. So anyways, coming back over here, for the 75% process to be complete, so if there is n number, it becomes n by 2, then it becomes n by 4. So here it takes 30 minutes, here it takes more 30 minutes to become one half of the previous one. So here, if you talk about how much is basically the time taken for 75% completion of the process, 75% completion of the process, here it was 0%, here 50% is done, 50% is decayed, here 50% is decayed, here 75% is decayed and only 25% is basically left over here. So 25% left to 75% decayed. So hence basically the answer will be 60 minutes. You don't have to do all this complicated maths, ignore this solution. It's just that you need to understand 60 minutes is 2 times the half-life. So 2 half-lives will be over. That's all. Acha, Masim sir had also solved this. Okay. So I don't know whether this question came in chemistry or physics. I don't know. I'm just solving it, assuming it was in physics. So good. You have solved this question 2 times. Anyways, this can come in kinetics also, chemical kinetics also, the first order reaction, or it can even come in physics as nuclear radioactivity question, right? Great. So let's move on to the next question coming up on your screen. And here it is. What is it? Calculate the bandwidth of an amplitude modulated signal, carrier wave and your signal wave. Both frequencies are given. A question came on this in the first day also. If you have watched my lecture, you will know the modulation index was asked. So now they are asking what is the bandwidth. We know that for an amplitude modulated wave, if you draw the frequency versus the amplitudes which are there, you will see that the frequencies which are there is number 1, the carrier frequency, and there are 2 side bands they are called. Right? This is Fc plus Fm and this is Fc minus Fm. What are these two called? This and this, they are called as side bands. These are called as the side bands. This is the main carrier wave. It produces two side bands. If you remember, this distance between them is called as the bandwidth. And this bandwidth from here to here is basically 2 times of FM. So that's it. So 2 times of FM means it will be 2 into how much? 5. So basically 10 kilohertz. 10 kilohertz. That's the answer. 10 kilohertz. Yes, this question may repeat again. Definitely it might repeat again. Who knows? It can definitely repeat. Okay? Definitely, Isharan. So many times if it is getting repeated, how many times should I repeat that it is going to be repeated? Okay? So don't make me say that again and again. Moving on to the next one. Coming up on your screen. Let's see what it is. Consider the following statements for a relationship in a diode. Photodiode is operated in reverse bias mode. Reason: significant current flows in a PN junction diode when it is operated in the reverse bias mode. Guys, I think this is definitely wrong. Look at the reason, yeah? Check if this was the actual statement asked. Significant current moves in the reverse bias, that is definitely wrong. In fact, leakage current goes in the reverse bias. So that should have been the statement. Photodiode is operated in the reverse bias mode, definitely. So when you have a photodiode, basically the current flows in the reverse bias. Remember, it's the LED which is operating in the forward bias. Photodiode operates in the reverse bias. So this statement is definitely correct. So assertion is correct, reason is incorrect. Forget the reasoning, it is wrong only. Okay, very nice. Yes, question paper will be available, Manish. After some time, I will post it on the Telegram channel. Solenoid has these many turns, length, current. Find the magnetic field at the center of solenoid. You can't have a simpler question than this. JEE has lost its charm. I mean, I'm very disappointed the way JEE has been making questions. It's no longer fun to solve these questions. Agree or disagree? It's directly formula based. It's like marks are like thrown. You take these marks. You take these marks. You take these marks. It's like that. I mean, these kind of questions are asked. So magnetic field at the center is mu naught Ni. That is the formula. Mu naught is 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. This is turns per unit length. So total turns by total length into current. So this will be 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. Number of turns 1200, length 2, current 2. That's it. Start cancelling. 2 cancels. 4 into 12 is 48. Pi is still there with you. 10 to the power minus 7 and these two zeros will become 10 to the power minus 5. Answer should be in Tesla. Perfect. That's the answer. Easy question na Venu. Questions is in forward bias. Question said forward bias, then it will be true, but then the reasoning will not be the correct explanation, Priya Kumari, for the previous one, assertion reason. Guys, how many times I have told I'm going to give the PDF, so why are you asking PDF? Okay, it's understood, na? So don't ask. It's going to come. Okay, next question coming up on your screen. Match the following. Okay, over here there are different arrangements given. Find out the magnetic field for each and every scenario. This and this. I'll show you few of them. It's very simple. Let's say for example I choose this one. Okay, it's like a loop which is there, and then you also have the wire. So basically what happens in this case, because of the loop also there is magnetic field. So think about it, the current will go like this, like this, like this. So because of the loop also there is magnetic field, and because of this wire also there is magnetic field. So because of the loop, if you curl your fingers, the thumb points towards you, field comes towards you. Because of the wire, also the field comes towards you. So the net field will be because of the loop plus because of the wire. Because of the loop, it is mu naught I by 2r, and because of the wire, it is mu naught I by 2 pi r. Is that okay? So this is the magnetic field in the first case. Simple. Just have to find the field due to each one of the scenarios. Then let's say for example I choose, let's say this scenario, let's say D option, this one. Okay, let's try this out as well. See guys, it's simple. Just show a semicircle and let's say the current goes like this and like this. So here the magnetic field is because of the semicircle plus because of the wire. Now because of the semicircle, it will be half of that of the loop. So because of the loop, it was mu naught I by 2r. So it will be half of that because each semicircle contributes half of the total value. For wire, the contribution is 0 because you are on the axis of the wire. Look at this. This point is on the axis of the wire. So there is no magnetic field on the axis. Remember, magnetic fields are only there around it. Magnetic fields are there around it, not on the axis of the wire. So that is the answer for the D option. Understood, guys? Exactly. Venu have made a video on the easy kill, most repeated high weightage topics. It's there, 7-minute video on the channel. Just go to the videos tab. You take any other point, you can find it out. Here there is again semicircle, this wire and this wire. Here this wire and this semicircle. Will you be able to do it, guys? So for each one of them, you should be able to calculate the magnetic field. Say for example, even if you take this one, what will you say? Because of this guy, it's on the axis, right? It will have no contribution. This will have no contribution. This will have no contribution, correct? This will have no contribution. This wire will have, this semicircle will also have. This semicircle will also have. So because of this semicircle, it will be half into mu naught I by 2r, correct? Half of the complete loop. But for this wire, do not write, please do not write mu naught I by 2 pi r. Why? Because this is not an infinitely long wire. Only half of the infinite wire is there. So because of this, it will be mu naught I by 2 pi r's half. Why this half is there? Because it is not an infinitely long. It is a semi-infinite wire. It's only there this side. It is not there this side. So whenever you have a wire like this, then you put that half term. If it is an infinitely long wire like this one, then it is mu naught I by 2 pi r. Okay, that's how you get the answer. Everyone with me? Understood now how to do it? Question paper's difficulty is very easy. It's not at all difficult. I put up all the answers over here. Okay. Okay, great. Moving on to another question coming up on your screen on moment of inertia. Okay, I had told you that parallel axis and perpendicular axis theorem, very important, very repeated topics. This type of questions have come again and again. In yesterday's question, it was find the radius of gyration at a shifted axis. Here it is find the ratio of the inertias. Okay, let's try to do this. First of all, if I consider the disk, I know about the central axis. It is basically mr square by 2. But the question says about, this is ICM be the moment of inertia of the disk passing through the center and perpendicular to its plane. So this is basically ICM. IAB is the moment of inertia about an axis AB that is in the plane of the disk and 2r by 3 from the center. Okay, so here is what I think. If I think about this axis and this axis, both are diametrical axis and both are diameters, that means they are identical. Using perpendicular axis theorem, this, that and this one, all three are perpendicular. So can I not say ID plus ID will be nothing but ICM? This is using perpendicular axis theorem. Yes or no? So basically 2 times of ID will be ICM, which is mr square by 2. So ID will be mr square by 4, right? It will be mr square by 4, right? Perfect. Now the next pointer. If I take another axis over here, that axis has a moment of inertia IAB. What will be the inertia at that point? And then find the ratio. IAB will be this axis shifted parallelly. So use parallel axis theorem. So it will be mr square by 4 plus m, distance which I shift is 2r by 3 square. So this will be mr square. I have 1 by 4 over here. This will be 4 by 9. So this will be mr square. 9 plus 16, that's 25 by 36. So that is that. Now find the ratio. That's it. That's all you need to do. So basically what is it? ICM divided by IAB. That's all. ICM by IAB. So what are you going to do? Substitute this. sorry, substitute this and then substitute that. So it will be mr square by 2 divided by mr square, what do you have, 25 divided by 36. mr square cancels, so I'm just left with 1 by 2. This 25 is there, 36 is there, 36 goes with 2 18 times, and this is 25. So 18 by 25 should be the answer. 18 by 25 should be the answer. Just check this out. Yes, it is. Karthikeyan, cheat codes. Cheat code, there is no shortcut and cheat code for success, bacha. With cheat codes, you will get 4 marks, 10 marks, 12 marks, 20 marks. Not more than that. At the end of the day, it is hard work. But still, if you want to get those 20 marks, I have made some cheat code videos some long time back. So just watch that as well. If you are watching this channel, just if you go over here, right? I don't know what happened. Let me just show you. So as you watch this channel, okay, go down over here. Go down over here. You can see guessing options, how to guess MCQs, or you can just put over here as well. Okay. Just put over here, Shreyas Sir cheat. My God, what a word to put. Tricks and cheat codes save time in JEE Mains and BitStat, PCM. All right, it's valid for all the subjects. So you can see there are these 3 videos I have put up. More than these 3 videos, you don't need anything. Is that okay? 3 videos, Sweta. What more you want? After this, everything else will be completely guesswork. Complete guesswork. That is not guaranteed. If I get something, I'll definitely put. But after a point, you cannot. Okay, you have to study. There is no substitute for hard work. You cannot say, sir, entire paper can I get 360 or 300 marks by using cheat codes. Very good. Try it out. If some teacher is telling you, please follow that teacher. Don't come over here and waste your time, guys. Don't come over here. Why are you guys wasting your time over here? Go somewhere and watch some other teacher who is going to give you those cheat codes. Perfect. Okay, so now maths sir is going to come. Gautam sir is going to come to discuss the entire maths paper. Today, we have completed more than 20 questions. Today, we have covered more than 20 plus questions. And if I get some more questions, I'll be putting it up in the PDF form. Remember, the Ekalavya entrance will start very soon. And I'm so grateful and thankful to the entire Ekalavya team for providing support for the question collection and for the paper solving as well. So guys, the ultimate rank booster program, JEE Advanced Rank Booster program, which is completely free of cost, will start very soon. So make sure you stay updated, stay tuned on this space. Do not go anywhere. Now Gautam sir will conduct the remaining part of the discussion of maths, the shift 1 of 25th January. I hope you have smashed the like button. In case you haven't, please do that right now. And if you have not yet subscribed, you know what to do. Go hit the subscribe button as well. Okay? Ready guys for maths? Yo! Warm up the chat box. Warm up the chat box. Warm up the chat box. As of now, I feel this was the easiest shift, at least physics wise. Physics wise, this was the easiest, shift. Let me just call up sir and see if he's ready. Hello sir, ready? Achha, sure it will. Okay, surely 3:30. Yeah, surely 3:30 हो जाएगा. Okay, okay. ठीक है. Just 1 second go. Okay, fine. Okay guys, actually Gautam sir is in the studio, but the studio is having some not technical difficulty. There is somebody inside the studio, so we're just waiting for the person to finish the session. All right, and he will be there within around 5 to 10 minutes, not more than that. Okay, so meanwhile I'll just continue chatting with you guys because it is fun chatting with you guys. And where do I get such time? Yeah, okay, let me just chat with you. Which mobile do I use? Okay, come on, let's see how many of you can guess the mobile. Come on, put it up in the chat box. Guess the mobile, guys. Any questions based on polarization? At least I did not encounter any question on polarization. Surprising. Previous years they asked so many questions on polarization. This year they did not ask any question on polarization. Crazy. iPhone, everybody knows, yeah. Tell me the model number. Tips, no. See, that tips which I gave over here, please watch these 3 videos. Very important. For guesswork, it will help you up to 20-25 marks maximum, not more than that, okay? 12 Pro Max. Who was that? SM Sadiq. Oh, Harshini also. Very good, yeah. You guys are smart. You guys are technologically advanced people, yeah. Just looking at the phone's back cover only, you guess. Salute. Brewster angle. Brewster angle, 1 question came. That's all, yesterday. But the typical polarization, I naught by 2, Malu's law did not come. Only 1 question on Brewster's law, that too direct question. What is Brewster's law types? Which topics is repeating in the 3rd shift, on all the 3 shifts? So the topics which is repeating, number 1, units and dimensions, match the following, it is coming. Number 2, I am also seeing your Carnot cycle, KTG related questions, RMS speed, gamma, CP by CV, all those first law or Carnot cycle. These questions are getting very, very repeated again and again. Then I'm also seeing questions of what do you say, rotational mechanics, the theorems, perpendicular parallel axis theorem, or kinetic energy, rotational kinetic energy, energy conservation, those kind of questions are getting repeated. SHM questions are getting again and again. There are 2 questions of SHM most likely in every shift. Like today also there was 1 question on that gravity plus SHM, and yesterday there were 2 questions in the same shift. So SHM and all these things are coming again and again. Waves related, wave equation related questions are coming again and again. That's what I'm seeing. Ray optics, very, very straightforward questions are coming. They are not complicated as such, where you have to use some crazy amount of geometry. No, very straightforward ray optics based questions are coming. Yep. Then always in radioactivity, the law of radioactivity questions or the radius question and the density question is coming again and again. So the density of the nucleus question, the radius of the nucleus, this is coming. Also atomic structure, the number of wavelengths or the ratio of the wavelengths, those questions are getting repeated. Okay, and also de Broglie wavelength and accelerating the charge and or momentum and kinetic energy. So these concepts are involved in many questions. You can see that. So this is my analysis. Okay, any suggestions who are going to give the exam on 29th? Gitu, I would say please go through all the question paper discussions which we are doing on this channel. It's for your benefit, and we are not being lazy just to say, okay, I'm just going to do 10 questions and just going to walk off and give you the PDF. No, we are making sure that as many questions as possible, we are sitting over here and discussing. Even if it takes 5 o'clock or 5:30, we are discussing. Or else we are not fools not to sit over here and discuss. We could have just said, okay, we'll just discuss 10-15 questions. No. So watch all these discussion sessions, watch the short sessions. Everything is there on the channel for you guys. If you want to find anything, now let's say tomorrow you want to revise, let's say for example, rotation. Shreyas sir, rotation 1 shot. Shreyas sir, rotation 1 shot. See this? 0 to hero in rotation. See, all the resources are there with you. Okay, you are like, no sir, I want your mock test, sir. No problem, you want my mock test, right? Mock test. So just search Shreyas sir, sorry, not rotation mock. It should have been just mock test, JEE mock test, that's all. So just see this, you will start seeing mock test 1, 2, 3, 4. So many mock tests you will get. All these are mock tests, okay? So you can start searching and utilizing these resources in this particular manner. Is that okay, guys? Perfect. Okay, very good. Okay, so what else? What else you want to ask? Sir, there have been questions from fluid mechanics. Fluid mechanics, very little question. Very little, very low weightage. Okay, hardly anything. Okay, Bharat, Nan Telugu Chendi. Okay. No, Telugu Chendi means I can speak Telugu? Or not, I don't know. I can't speak Telugu. Okay. So, for exam on 31st, Aishwarya, need my wishes. Aishwarya, my best wishes are with you, and I'm so glad that you guys are going to give the exam on 31st. You are going to get that natural advantage of seeing all these papers, and you can almost predict 20 to 40% of the entire paper. There was one question from YDSC today, this is what I heard, but I have not got the question. So if I get the question, I'll be putting it up in the PDF. Exam on 1st Feb. 1st Feb people, very lucky. Very lucky. Awesome, guys. What's the name of your watch? The name of my watch is Apple Watch 7. Okay. Okay. So Abhishek wants to know every detail. Work power energy. Yeah, sometimes questions are coming. Like yesterday, there were some questions on work power energy. My car company also. Then what else you want? My banyan company, my shirt company, my chair company, everything. Where I'm working, that company also. Okay. Great, great. Thank you so much, Naeem, for being a fan, and so glad you are watching all the lectures and benefiting out of it. Will the paper be tougher in the other shifts? No, no, no. Paper will be same level. See, they will never deviate from the average level. It will be slightly difficult, slightly easy. Yeah, some variations will be there, but don't expect the average difficulty to increase. It will be same. Okay, last so many years they keep it like that only, or else it will be not fair on the students who are preparing for the end, right? So is there negative marks for numericals? Yes, Srinivasu, negative marks are there for the numericals. Within 10 days, can I get 95%? How do you have 10 days, man? Bashi, please count and tell me, how do you have 10 days? January 29th tips, just watch these lectures, watch mock tests, and calmly sit and revise formulas today and tomorrow. Day after tomorrow, again watch these discussion sessions, whichever you have missed, and watch the mock tests and give those mock tests. Basically, give mock tests. Just don't watch. Give the mock test. That's very important. Okay? Okay. Great, great, great. Sure shot is enough to score 40 plus? No, man. It is not enough to score 40 plus. Okay? Okay. Great. Let me just check with sir once more. Sir, in 2 months, yes. 2 months you can get 99 percentile also. 2 months you can get 99 percentile also. Don't worry about it, okay? I have exam on 31st. What do you think I should complete revision first? Just 1 second. Yes, Gautam sir. Hello? Hello? Model army, I just mentioned which models are getting repeated. I think I did Harshita more than 20 plus questions. Marks versus percentile, I will be putting it up very soon, not now. Let me just analyze more ranks and more outcomes, and then I will be able to give you a perfect, reasoning for it. For board exams, yes, from February onwards. Hello? You are going live? You have started the stream? Okay, you start the stream. Yeah, once you start, you let me know, then I will, I'm keeping the phone on, because then the video will get disconnected. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Can car loan, bike loan, Shreyas sir, cyclone? Aditya Reddy, fire man, fire. Epic dialogue, man, epic dialogue. Thank you so much. Car loan, bike loan, Shreyas sir, cyclone. Super duper. Guys, be a little bit more creative. Yaar, come on. You have to give a nice takkar, you have to give nice mukabala to Abhishek. Yeah, you have started the stream? Okay, I'm ending it. Okay, so guys, Gautam sir will be coming live now. That's it from my side. I hope you guys enjoyed the physics and chemistry discussion. Get ready for maths. And do not forget to smash the like button if you have not. Make this 500. Yeah, come on, just make this 500, no? 478. Make this go up quickly. Make this 500 quickly. Before I go, I want to see this 500. Make this 500. I'll be watching you guys. If you don't make this 500, then you had it. Then you ask me anything, then I will not tell you. Okay, make this 500. Yes, very good. More 12 to go. Yep, perfect. Come on, get in more kids. Ask your mom, dad, sister, brother also in the room. Even if they're not watching my lecture, just go like and go. There you go, 514. Awesome. Now maths sir will come. Bye bye guys. Have a great time. Hasta la vista. Check.
Okay, hello guys, how are you? Just give me a couple of minutes. Hello everyone, how are you everyone? I hope I'm audible for everyone out there. Okay, just give me a minute guys, just give me a minute. There is some issue with the mic. Just give me 1 minute students, just give me 1 minute. Okay. Hello guys, how are you? Am I audible for everyone out there? I hope everyone can hear me, everyone can see me. Perfect. So how was your examination? All the students? How was your examination? JEE Main 2023, 25th January morning shift. How was the paper? Still admit card is not allocated. Guys, for all the students who have not received the admit card, just email them asking that the admit card is not yet released. There are many students who still has not received any admit card, so do not get worried. Okay, you will definitely get it, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. I think probably you might get the admit card. Okay, good afternoon guys, good afternoon Sai Kumar, Bharat, Kirti, very good afternoon. So how was the paper? How was the paper of 25th January morning shift? Well, if I compare it with the yesterday's paper, relatively it was a difficult paper, guys. I would say definitely the paper was somewhere between moderate to difficult. Few questions were too good questions. When I say too good, they are such type of questions only the topper students can attempt. They were that type of questions. Doable questions, well, you'll find it somewhere between 7 to 8. 7 to 8 questions were doable questions. But if you see the last day question paper of shift 1 and shift 2 of JEE mains, the doable questions were somewhere between 10 to 12 in both the shifts. Shift 1 and shift 2, the doable questions were between 10 to 12. But in this today's paper, in shift 1, the doable questions are a bit, low. They are somewhere between 5 to 6 or something like, 6 to 7. So I would say definitely not an easy paper. Not an easy paper, guys. Not an easy paper. So the voice is not good. Can everyone hear me, guys? Can all the students hear me? I hope I'm audible for everyone out there. I hope I'm audible for everyone out there. The voice is not good. Just a minute, guys. Just a minute. Sir, just a minute. There is some issue with the mic here. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, let me do one thing, guys. Let me do one thing. Let me just hold the mic. Okay, I think in that way it would be better. Is the voice clear for everyone now? Is the voice clear for everyone now? I hope the voice is clear for all the students out there. Right? Okay, perfect. Chalo. Now let us start discussing. What type of questions were asked. We'll see the solutions of that, and also you'll understand the level of toughness. You can gauge the level of toughness. And for all the students who have your examination on 29th, 30, 31st, and 1st, so you'll get an idea again in shift 1 of your 25th January. What type of questions, what type of chapters were focused more, more questions were asked, what was the level of toughness, all these things will get a much more clarity when we discuss. Okay, fine. It is like a robotic voice. Sir, your voice is not good, sir. Just a minute, guys. I think there is some issue with here. It's like the robotic voice. Okay, fine. Just give me 1-2 minutes, guys. I'll just, check what is the issue here. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay, is the voice clear now? Can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me? I hope the voice is clear. Just let me know in the chat section, guys. And please don't spam the chat or give me, any wrong info in the chat. Hello, guys. Hello. Guys, do this. Just let me know in the chat section. Is the voice clear? Okay, just give me a couple of minutes, guys. Just give me a couple of minutes. The team is working on it. Okay, hello, hello, all the Telugu people out there. How are you? Great. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so just give me 2-3 minutes. The team is checking on the voice. Okay, then we can start the session. And let's make sure that everything is clear. It is audible. The voice is distance. Okay, okay, I'm audible. Okay, just let me check it out. Just a minute, guys. Just a minute. Okay, is the voice clear? Is the voice clear for everyone? Can you open the chat? This one. Yeah, is the voice clear for everyone now? Is the voice clear for everyone? Yes, perfect. Chalo. I think we can start the session then. I think now it's fine, right? Okay, clear. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Chalo. Sorry for the inconvenience, guys. I hope it's fine for you. Clear. So let's start discussing the paper today. Okay, as I told you, the paper was relatively, comparatively on the tougher side. And you compare with 24th January paper, okay, the shift 1, shift 2, the doable questions were around 10 to 12, but in this particular shift, this 25th January first shift, the questions of like which you can do are a bit on the lower side. Okay, there are like only 5-6 questions or 6 to 7 questions which you can do it easily. The other questions were somewhere between moderate to difficult level. Moderate to difficult level. Okay, fine. Let me do one thing, guys. Let me just start. Let me start. What do you want? No, it's fine. The voice is not here. I'll hold it. No, there is nothing else. I can manage. No issues. Okay, so let us just start discussing. So this is the first question for you guys. This is the first question for you. So what is the question given for you? You can clearly see f of t is given as integration 2t by t square plus 1 into t square plus 3 dt. We need to find out what is f of 4 going to be. Given that capital F of 3 is given, which is ln 5 minus ln 6 divided by 2. And the right answer which you have to get in this particular question is going to be this. So any of the student who has written the examination today, you should be getting this answer, guys, for this particular question. Now this is a pretty simple one. I can definitely rate this question as an easy question. Any student who has done indefinite integration, at least the basics of indefinite integration, can comfortably solve this question without any trouble, without any problem at all. See, the simple thing is that if you observe, your f of t is given in this way. Now let me do one thing. In fact, this is a question which I can tell you that it's directly available in NCERT. I'm not even taking any reference book. In NCERT, if you open it, in the indefinite integration, in partial fractions, I think in partial fraction topics, I guess, you will directly find this question, the same type of question. All you have to do here is simply take t square is equal to, let us say, s. Okay, so let us differentiate this. You see what I'm going to get? 2t dt is simply going to become ds. Is that clear for you? Okay. Now, if you apply this modification, guys, if you apply this modification to this integral, you see what I'm going to get? I'll get capital F of t is equal to integration. Now, this 2t dt is going to be ds, correct? And what about this denominator? T square plus 1 into t square plus 3. Since we have taken t square as s, you would be getting s plus 1 into s plus 3. This is what you are going to get. S plus 1 into s plus 3. Clear? Now let me tell you guys, this is a very simple integral. You can apply partial fraction, and if you want to do the partial fraction method, this is how you can do it. You can say 1 by s plus 1 into s plus 3. 1 by s plus 1 into s plus 3 can be written as a by s plus 1 plus b by s plus 3. Okay, this is your partial fraction method. Now after taking the LCM on the right hand side, all you have to do is compare the coefficients of s and constants. You would end up getting the value of a and b. and after that just integrate it separately. That's it. You're going to get the answer. That is one way of doing. Or else, if you observe, if you basically find out s plus 1 into s plus 3, if you figure out what is s plus 1 into s plus 3, this is simply s square plus 4s plus 3. And whenever you have this type of format, let me just write it down for you guys. Whenever you have integration dx by ax square plus bx plus c, whenever you have this type of format, okay, all you have to do is apply the completing square method and write this either in this particular way or this particular way or this particular way, and then accordingly you can apply the formula and get the solution. So is this not a simple question? I don't think this is there is anything complicated in this question, guys. So if you can apply through the partial fraction method, or else you can go through this particular method. Let me do one thing. Let me take the partial fraction method for you. Okay, since a lot of students in the chat section are asking that, sir, apply partial fraction method. Let me go with the partial fraction method, guys. Okay, so partial fraction method, according to that, as I told you, just take the LCM on the right hand side. You would be getting a into s plus 3 plus a b into s plus 1, and that is equal to 1. Anyway, the denominator on both the side is going to get cancelled. This is what you're going to get. Okay, now try to understand this. Here you can clearly see that we need to figure out what is the value of a and b, right? And for that, you can clearly see one is going to be, let us say this is, okay, let me put s is equal to minus 3. If I put s is equal to minus 3, I would directly end up getting the value of b, correct? If you put s is equal to minus 3, what is going to happen? On the left hand side, it is going to be 1. On the right hand side, I'll get b into minus 3 plus 1 is minus 2. So b into minus 2. So the value of b is going to be minus 1 by 2. Similarly, if you put s is equal to minus 1, you would end up getting the value of a. So let me just write it down for you, and let me just remove this, guys. So if you put the value of b is equal to minus 1, you see what I'm going to get in this particular case? I'll get 1 is equal to a into s plus 3 minus 1 plus 3, well, that's going to be 2. So a value will turn out to be 1 by 2. Is that clear for everyone? So now your this particular term 1 by s plus 1 into s plus 3, you can write this as 1 by s plus 1 into s plus 3. You can write it as 1 by 2 into 1 by s plus 1 minus of 1 by s plus 3. Now instead of integrating the left hand side, you can directly integrate the right hand side. Can we do that? Definitely, sir. We can definitely do the integration of the right hand side. Since the right hand side integrals are standard integrals, you directly get the solution. And you see what I'm going to get here, guys. I'll be getting 1 by 2 into log of s plus 1 minus of log of s plus 3 plus c. This is what you're going to get. And in place of s, you can take t square. Now, to figure out what is f of 4 going to be, you need to know the value. You need to know the value of which one? You need to know the value of this constant of integration. And for that, this is given for you. F of 3 is equal to ln 5 minus ln 6 divided by 2. So use this information to figure out the value of c. And after getting the constant of integration, all you have to do is substitute in place of t, substitute 4, and you would be getting the solution. So is this question clear for everyone out there? Agreed, a bit lengthy question, but nothing complicated. See, I would rate a question complicated or difficult when we need to sit and do the analysis of the question. Like, okay, what is happening in this question? Is the question, okay, what is this function doing? Okay, which point should I be taking down? If I do such analysis without even putting my pen on the paper, if I start understanding the question, and if that is taking the time, definitely that is rated as a difficult question, guys, a complicated question. But this one is not a complicated one. You already know that, okay, fine, what should be done in this case? You already know the integral, correct? And from this integral, you already know how to modify this integral, how do you convert this into standard form and get the solution. So definitely, this is a doable question, guys. And if you do, the right answer is going to be this one. 1 by 2 ln of 17 by 19 should be the right answer. So is this clear? Is this clear for all the students, guys? Is this clear for everyone out there? And let me tell you, for all the students who are having their examination on 29, 30, 31st or 1st, this paper analysis would definitely be helpful for you for two reasons. One, you would get an idea of, what level of questions are being asked, which chapters, from which chapters, how many questions are being asked. Second, the type of questions can be repeated. Yes, maybe not every question, but you would definitely find out 3 to 4 questions which are getting repeated. The type is getting repeated. So definitely that would be helpful for you students. So I hope this is clear for you. Now let me go to another question. So actually in shift 1 and shift 2 of January 24th, I did not find any question from indefinite integration. As far as the questions I got from the students, I did not get any indefinite integration. But today we have an indefinite integration question, but nothing complicated. And I tell my students that most of the students would definitely leave this chapter. I've seen many students leaving this whole chapter of indefinite integration. I completely agree. It's complicated. There are so many modification techniques. But guys, what I would suggest is at least do the NCERT part. At least complete the NCERT of indefinite integration, because if you have done the NCERT also, this question you could have comfortably solved it. Nothing issue, no issue with this. Okay, chalo. So now let me go to another question for you. Now you see this question. This was the question given for you. If y is going to be 1 plus x into 1 plus x square into 1 plus x raised to 4 into 1 plus x raised to 8 into 1 plus x raised to 16, then we need to figure out what is y dash of minus 1 and minus y double dash of minus 1. Now, guys, purely differentiation question. Nothing dramatic is happening here. Nothing crazy is happening here. Right? And the right answer you have to get in this case is 496. If any of the students has written, guys, 496 should be the right answer for this question. Okay, now let me tell you guys, nothing dramatic is happening in this question. Pretty simple. Okay, y is given for you. All is asking you to figure out is what is y dash of minus 1 minus y double dash of minus 1. Okay, so let me just write it down for you. So let me just differentiate this, guys. Now what is y dash going to be? Well, that is going to be, so let me take one term at a time. Okay, so let me first differentiate 1 plus x. That is going to be 1 into 1 plus x square, 1 plus x raised to 4, the product rule, you already know this, right? So the rest of the terms, 1 plus x raised to 8 into 1 plus x raised to 16. And I'll stop it at this point. If you are a smart student, you would just stop it at this point. There is no need for you to do the whole step. Why? Why should we not write down the other rest of the portion here? Because try to understand this, guys. He's asking the value of y dash at x is equal to minus 1. Agreed. At x is equal to minus 1, only this term will be safe. This term is not going to get cancelled. It will be giving you a finite value. When I say finite values, a value which is nothing but, other than 0, a non-zero value. Okay. But let us suppose, now you're going according to the product rule. Now what you have done is, now let me differentiate this one, keeping everything constant. Okay. So let me do it for you. Let me just show that to you. So 1 plus x square differentiation is 2x into, now I'll be writing 1 plus x. Okay. Into 1 plus x raised to 4 into 1 plus x raised to 8 into 1 plus x raised to 16. But what I'm telling you is that there is no need to write this at all. Why? Because anyway at x equal to minus 1, this x plus 1 is going to become 0. 0 into anything is definitely 0. The same thing is going to happen in the rest of the terms, where x plus 1 will definitely be there. and at x equal to minus 1, that x plus 1 is going to become 0. It will just cancel out, eliminate the entire thing. So that is the reason I was telling you that if you have written till this part, that is enough. If you have written the whole thing without thinking, you just have written the whole thing and then later you have realized, acha, the next 3 terms are simply becoming 0. You would have definitely wasted around 1 minute. That is for sure. Okay. So be smart. So here, this is what the result you're going to get. Okay. So at minus 1, guys, you'll get 1 into, this is 1 plus 1, 2. This is going to be 2. This is also 2. And this is also 2. So how much is that going to be? 2, 4, 6. 2 2s are 4. 4 2s are 8. 8 2s are 16. So this is going to be 16. So y dash of minus 1 value is going to be 16. So y dash of minus 1 value is 16. Now what about y double dash of minus 1? Well, just differentiate this y dash now. If you differentiate y dash, you get y double dash, and that is going to be, so again, we can apply the product rule here. So you're going to get 2x into 1 plus x raised to 4 into 1 plus x raised to 8 into 1 plus x raised to 16 plus 1 plus x square into differentiation of 1 plus x raised to 4. That's going to be 4x cube into 1 plus x raised to 8 into 1 plus x raised to 16 plus now differentiation of the third term, and that is going to be 1 plus x square into 1 plus x raised to 4, 1 plus x raised to 8 differentiation, 8 into x raised to 7, agreed. And then you have finally this particular term, which is 1 plus x raised to 16, and finally you can differentiate this, which is going to be 16 into x raised to 15, and you can write down the first 3 terms. I mean this term, and this term. Okay, so let me write it down for you. 1 plus x square into 1 plus x raised to 4 into 1 plus x raised to 8. Now all you have to do is substitute x is equal to minus 1. In this case, it will not get cancelled. Okay, for y double dash, you don't have 1 plus x, no guys. So it will not get cancelled here. So at x is equal to minus 1, you figure out what you're going to get here. So at x is equal to minus 1, if you observe, the value of y double dash is going to be, you see here, what is the value of y double dash? 2 into, so you can clearly see this will become 2 into, this is going to become 2, this is 2 and this is 2. Agreed everyone? And then accordingly, this is 2, this is 4, this is 2 and this is 2. This is 2, this is 2, this is going to become 8 and this is 2. So you can do the calculation part, right? The trivial calculation, you can do this part. So just figure out what is y double dash of minus 1 going to be. And then you find out what is y dash of minus 1 minus y double dash of minus 1. And that you have to get the solution as 496. 496 is going to be the right answer in this particular question. So is this clear for everyone out there? Is anyone having any doubt in this case? So pretty simple, guys. And here you would be getting minus 2. X equal to minus 1. So minus 2 here. Here it is minus 4. Similarly, here it is minus 8. So just substitute x equal to minus 1 in this equation. Find out y double dash and substitute those values here. You get the answer. So any doubt in this question, guys? Is anyone having any doubt? So again, it was lengthy, but nothing complicated in this question. Nothing crazy was happening in this question where we had to, stop, okay, think a bit and do the analysis and then proceed. It was not like that. It was just going on, it was just continuously going on. All we had to do is keep on differentiating, substituting the value. So nothing crazy was going on here. So definitely a doable question, guys. Definitely a doable question. The right answer is going to be 496, everyone. 496 will be the right answer. Okay, fine. Chalo. So now, yeah, minus 2. It's minus 2. Agreed. X equal to minus 1. This will be minus 2. This will be minus 4. This will be minus 8. This is going to become minus 16. Okay, cool. So now let me just go to another question for you. Now you see this question, binomial theorem. You know this, guys. If you have seen the paper analysis of yesterday's sessions also, binomial theorem, from binomial theorem, in both the shifts, two questions were asked. And in this shift also, you can see one question here which is from binomial theorem. And what is given to us here? If AR is the coefficient of x raised to 10 minus r in the expansion of this, then find out what is this going to be. Now let me tell you, like whatever I can tell you, whatever I have seen, analyzed from the previous, from yesterday's sessions and this session, the question from binomial theorem is trying to use the properties, the important results of binomial theorem. There are some very important results which we have studied in binomial theorem, and they're definitely making use of that. They're definitely, framing the question on that. And you see, this is one such type of question. And the right answer for this question is 1210, guys. 1210 should be the right answer here. Okay, so I'll discuss with you how are we going to get the answer. So first things first, try to understand the question, guys. If AR is the coefficient of x raised to 10 minus r in this expansion, so what does that mean? So let us say 1 plus x whole raised to 10. If you write down the general term, so TR plus 1 is NCR, 10CR, x raised to 10 minus r into 1 raised to r. Anyway, there is no need to write it down. So this is what is going to be the general term. Agreed. Now for x raised to 10 minus r, what is going to be the coefficient? This is going to be the coefficient. So according to the question, AR value is given to you as a 10CR. The value of AR is simply going to be 10CR. Now try to understand this, guys. We need to figure out what is summation R cube into AR by AR minus 1 whole square. Now before I put down this value in this particular expression, do you remember what is NCR by NCR minus 1? That is one such important result from binomial theorem, by the way. Guys, what is NCR? What is NCR by NCR minus 1? You should be remembering this. It is N minus R plus 1 divided by R. This is the result. It's very easy to prove. In fact, if you don't remember it also, it's fine. You can directly derive this in the examination. Nothing complicated here. Just find out what is NCR. N factorial by R factorial into N minus R whole factorial. Similarly, NCR minus 1. If you do the simplification, this is what you are going to get. Now, all you have to do is basically substitute the same formula here. So we need to find out AR by AR minus 1. Now try to understand this, guys. What is AR by AR minus 1 going to be? 10CR divided by 10CR minus 1. And according to this binomial theorem result, NCR by NCR minus 1, what is that going to be? N minus R plus 1 divided by R. So it's going to be 10 minus R plus 1 divided by R. And that is basically 11 minus R by R. So basically in the question, this is what we need to figure out. What is that? Summation R cube into, okay, 11 minus R whole square, 11 minus R whole square divided by R square. This is what we need to figure out. I think now the question is fine. But there is one confusion here. Nothing is given regarding the value of R, right? Where should we take the values of R? From where should we start and where should we end? Now try to understand, guys. It's pretty simple basics of binomial theorem. The value of R is always going to lie between 0 to n. So in this case, n is basically 10. So the value of R is simply nothing but 0 to 10. That's it. That's it. We're done with the question. If you already see here, R square and this is going to get cancelled. Now what is remaining here? Let me write it down for you. Summation R running from 0 to 10. R into, and what is this going to be? Okay, 11 minus R whole square. 11 minus R whole square. Now all you have to do is the simplification. Summation R running from 0 to 10. This is R into, this is 121 plus R square minus 22R. Agreed. So if you multiply R and apply the summation separately, this is what you're going to get. You'll get 121 summation R, where R is running from 0 to 10, plus summation R cube, where R is again running from 0 to 10, minus 22 summation R square, R running from 0 to 10. Now all you have to do is just put the values here, substitute the formulas. What is summation R, guys? Summation R, this is simply nothing but the sum of the first R natural numbers. It's R into R plus 1 by 2. Agreed. And what is summation R square? We also have to use summation R square. Again, the sum of the square of first n natural numbers. First are rational numbers given by the formula n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6. And summation R cube is n square into n plus 1 whole square divided by 4. If you apply those three formulas here, okay, where you can take R is equal to 10, you are simply going to get the result. Okay, so I hope this is clear for everyone. Yahan pe it should be R actually, but it's fine. Anyway, it's the formula which we are using. So yeah, perfect. So again, definitely a bit lengthy. I completely agree with you. Definitely a bit lengthy question. But again, nothing dramatic was happening in this question. See, in this question, the first thing which you have to understand is the expansion part. You need to understand what is AR, which is 10 CR. And that is very pretty basic, man. If you write the general term, you can easily get to know that, okay, AR is simply going to be 10 CR. And after that, you should definitely remember this property. If you know this property, then I think there would be no confusion. And after that, if you know this formulas, apply the formula, you get the answer. Okay, so definitely not an easy question, a moderate level question where you had to use all these formulas. Okay, there is also some calculation involved. So it would take some time to do this question, guys. And if you do, and the right answer is going to be 1210 for you. 1210, guys. So I feel the math paper was a bit lengthy also. If you compare with the previous yesterday's paper, the math was a bit lengthy. There were a few questions, which were, in which the calculations were, very, very large, or the process was too large. So yep, the math paper was a bit lengthy, we can tell. So accordingly, the percentiles will be decided. So I'll tell you what would be the good score in this paper also. Okay, fine. Chalo. So now let me just go to another question for you. So that was binomial theorem. Now let me go to another question. Now this is inverse trigonometry question. And again, one more important thing for everyone out there. Many of the students leave this inverse trigonometry, assuming that the question might not be asked from it. But if you see shift 1 and shift 2 of 24th Jan, and this is shift 1 of 25th Jan, he's definitely asking at least one question from inverse trigonometry. Okay. In fact, in shift 2, I guess, I got 2 questions from inverse trigonometry, and here you see you have 1 question. And also the questions were not that difficult. Like if you know the basics, if you know the basic formulas, then definitely you will be in a position to solve these questions, guys. Okay, now let me just discuss this question with you. What is this question about? So if the sum of the solutions of this entire thing, like if you solve this equation, you would end up getting the values of x, right? Is going to be alpha minus 4 by 3. Then what is the value of alpha? And the right answer which you have to get is going to be 2, guys. 2 should be the right answer for this question. I'll tell you how are we going to do this. Well, first things first. Now, guys, observe the question. 2 tan inverse 2x by 1 minus x square. Okay. And what about this one? Cot inverse of 1 minus x square by 2x. Okay. Now, what do we know about tan inverse of 2x by 1 minus x square? This is simply 2 tan inverse x. Agreed, everyone? For this particular values of x, tan inverse of 2x by 1 minus x square is 2 tan inverse x. Okay, this is completely fine. Now when you go to the next term, now here let me tell you, this is where most of the students are going to commit the mistake. So, yeah, sorry. So what basically happens is that you remember that cot inverse of 1 by x is going to be how much? Tan inverse x. Yes or no? Cot inverse of 1 by x is definitely going to be tan inverse x. This is what you guys know. This is what you guys remember, right? But you should also be remembering this, that this is possible only when x is greater than 0. When x is positive, then only cot inverse of 1 by x is going to be tan inverse x, students. If x is not positive, let us assume x is negative. In that case, let me tell you, cot inverse of 1 by x is going to be pi plus tan inverse of x. What is that going to be? Pi plus tan inverse of x, my students. Okay, so this is very important for this question, guys. So if you apply the same logic here, now try to understand, for any value of x greater than 0, that is in the interval 0 to 1, the question is given for -1 to 1, right? X is going to lie in this interval. So for any value of x greater than 0 and of course less than 1, this is going to become how much? 2 tan inverse x. You already have a 2 here. So it's going to become 4 tan inverse x. Okay. And what is this going to become? Since x is greater than 0, definitely cot inverse of 1 by x is tan inverse x. So this you can write it as, you see, let me just write it down for you here. So this portion here can be written as directly tan inverse of 2x by 1 minus x square, and this is simply nothing but 2 tan inverse x again. What are we going to get here? Again we are going to get 2 tan inverse x, and that is going to be pi by 3. So what is tan inverse x going to be in this particular case, everyone? Pi divided by, I think it's going to be, just a minute guys, 2 tan inverse x and 2, I think this should be only tan inverse of 2x by 1 minus x square, if I'm not wrong. I think there might be some typing mistake here, guys. I think because you'll get pi by 18. How would you find out the value of pi by 18, man? That is not possible. So let me just do one thing. Let me just check. Let me remove this 2 and check what I'm getting here. So if I remove this 2, okay, this will be gone. So I'll not get 4 here. I'll be getting 2 here. Then it will be 4 tan inverse x, and it will be pi by, I mean tan inverse x value will be pi divided by 12, correct. So pi by 12 value, you should already know this, man. So what is x going to be here? Tan pi by 12, tan of pi by 12, okay, and that is going to be how much? Tan pi by 12, if you don't remember, guys, tan 180 by 12, what is 180 by 12 going to be? 180 by 12, so 12 ones are, right, and you get 60, 12 5s are 60, so it's 15, tan 15 degrees, that is simply, you can figure it out as tan 45 minus 30, correct. So tan A minus tan B, which is 1 minus 1 by root 3 divided by 1 plus 1 by root 3. So you would end up getting root 3 minus 1 divided by root 3 plus 1, correct? And if you do the simplification, if you do the rationalization, you would end up getting this value. So let me just write it down for you. Root 3 minus 1 by root 3 plus 1 into root 3 minus 1 by root 3 minus 1. So what is this going to give you? 3 plus 1 minus 2 root 3, and this is a square minus b square, that is 2. So you would end up getting 2 minus root 3, guys. I'm just showing you the procedure. If you remember this value, good, crazy, very good. That's still, going to save your time. If you don't remember this value also, you can easily derive what is tan pi by 12. It is going to be 2 minus root 3. Okay, so we got to know one value of x. Now what about the other values of x here? Well, for that, guys, try to understand this. For that, now when you take x to be less than 0, everyone, when you take x to be less than 0, what is going to happen? Now you again remove this 2. This will become 2 tan inverse x. No problem with it. This part is going to become pi plus 2 tan inverse x. Agreed? As I told you that whenever x is less than 0, cot inverse of 1 by x is going to become pi plus tan inverse x. Correct? So if I apply the same logic here, this is what you're going to get, and this is equal to pi by 3, my students. And what is this going to be? 4 tan inverse x, and that is going to be basically pi by 3 minus pi, and that is minus 2 pi by 3. So 2 1s are, 2 2s are. So tan inverse of x is going to be basically minus pi by 6. So what is the value of x you're going to get here, guys? The value of x is going to be simply minus 1 by root 3. Okay, so we need to find the sum of all the solutions. That is, add this value as well as this particular value. So that is 2 minus 1 by root 3. Okay, and you have a minus 1 by root 3 again. Sorry. It's It's not 2 minus 1 by root 3, it is 2 minus root 3, correct? So 2 minus root 3, 2 minus root 3 and minus 1 by root 3. And if you do the simplification, you get 2 root 3 and this is minus 3 minus 1 by root 3, which you can write it as 2 minus of 4 by root 3. So this is what you are going to get. And if you compare this with this one, which is alpha minus 4 by 3, I think it should be 4 by root 3. It should not be this, not 4 by 3. It should be 4 by root 3. Okay, so if you compare that, the value of alpha which you're going to get in this case, what is the value of alpha, students? The value of alpha which you have to get in this case is going to be 2. So is this question clear for everyone out there? So again, it's an inverse trigonometric question. Okay, you have to definitely know this properties, guys. This is very important. So again, definitely not an easy question. Doable question, again, it depends. Like, in the heat of the moment, in the examination, under that huge pressure, you should remember that cot inverse of 1 by x is tan inverse x for only x greater than 0. If x is less than 0, this is what you are going to get. So these are the tricks, these are the basics he's going to test you in the examination. He's not going to give you anything very complicated. There might be a few questions which are really very complicated, okay, but not every question. But in most of the questions, what he tries to do is, he'll try to check your basics. Is this guy thorough with the basics? And to test the basic, he'll frame the question in such a way that you should not fumble, you should not apply, in place of this, you're applying this. No, you should not be doing it. If you're doing it, then you're not thorough with the basic part, right? So definitely for all the students who have your examination on 29, 30, 31st and 1st, go through your basics, guys. Just keep on revising, brushing up your basics of each and every chapter. Okay, make sure you don't apply any property, any result, any formula in a wrong way. Okay, fine. Chalo. So now let me go to another question for you. Yes, we have our statistics question here. So again, statistics question is definitely expected in every paper. We also had a statistics question yesterday, and also here we have a statistics question. Now this one is not that complicated. If you observe, the mean and variance of a data is found to be 10 and 4, okay, respectively. He's not given how many number of observations are there in that particular data. It's simply given that, okay, the mean of the data is 10, the variance of it is going to be 4. Okay, and what is given for you? The observation 8 was removed and the observation 12 was added. Now what is going to happen here? The new mean is 10.2. Is asking you to calculate what will be the new variance. I think you might have seen this type of questions, guys, in statistics. Anyway, in statistics, what happens is that if you see the whole chapter, there are just 3 to 4 concepts. Mean deviation, and then you have the variance and standard deviation. It's just going to play around with them. Okay, whatever question it is there, it's just going to play around with them. And that is what is happening here. So what is he saying is, so since we don't know how many number of observations we have here, so let me do one thing, guys. Let me take n to be the number of observations. Let me take the n to be the number of observations. Okay, fine. So according to the question, the mean was 10. So what does that mean? Summation xi, where I is running from 1 to n, okay, divided by n is simply going to be how much? According to the question, the mean is given for you as 10. So from this I can write down summation xi is going to be 10 into n. So summation xi is simply going to become 10 into n. Now try to understand, we do know that in all these observations, one observation is 8. So can I write it in this way, guys? Can I write this as summation xi? Let me write it in this way. S plus 8 is equal to 10 times of n. Now what is this S going to be, guys? Simple. S is nothing but the sum of remaining observations. The sum of remaining observations. Can we do it in this way? Definitely. I'm nothing crazy is happening here. Simple basic stuff. Now try to understand this, students. Now what is happening? So from here, this is what I got. Now what is happening is, in place of 8, he's replacing it by 12, and the new mean which I'm getting is 10.2. So what does that mean is, so in place of, so S is going to remain the same since the remaining observations are the same. In place of 8, we have 12 now. So let me take 12 and this will be equal to, now in place of 10, what is the new mean, guys? 10.2 into, now how many number of observations are going to be there? Will there be any change in the number of observations? Definitely no, right? You replaced one, I mean you basically you have taken out this 8 and replaced it by 10. So the number of observations is definitely going to be same, I mean replaced it by 12. So number of observations is definitely going to be same. So here it's going to be into n. Is this clear for you? Now all you have to do is solve these two equations. If you subtract here, 12 minus 8 on the left hand side is 4, and on the right hand side you get 10 into 0.2, guys. So what is n going to be? 4 divided by 0.2, and how much is that? This is 0.1 and this is 2 and this is going to be 20. The number of observations which you have to get in this case is 20. Now once we got to know n is equal to 20, guys, try to understand this. Let us figure out what is the new variance. Now to figure out the new variance, what is the new variance going to be? So let us say the variance sigma square, let me take it as, let me write it in this way, which is indicating that we are finding the new variance. Okay, so here the formula will be summation xi square divided by 10 minus of the mean whole square. Anyway, we have the mean in the question, so it's going to be 10.2 whole square. Okay, now in this case also try to understand this, everyone. Now here summation xi square, in the observations I know one observation which is going to be 12. So I can write this as, okay, 12 square plus, now what about the remaining observation square? What about the sum of the square of the remaining observations? So let me do one thing. Let me take that as capital A square divided by 10 minus of 10.2 whole square. Now what is this capital A square going to give you? What is this capital A square indicating? The square of, sorry, the sum of the square, the sum of the square of remaining observations, of the remaining observations. Now how do we get this value of A square, guys? This is fine, but how do we get the value of A square? For that, the question, you see the question, the variance is given for the old data, and that is 4. We can make use of it, right? So according to this logic, I can write down sigma square, which is basically 4, and this is simply nothing but, again, summation xi square, in which you will be having one observation to be 8. So 8 square plus the remaining observation square, right? The sum of the square of the remaining observations. So that is simply A square whole divided by number of observations 10 minus of the mean whole square. What is the mean? The old mean was 10. So it's going to be 10 square. Now from here, you need to figure out what is A square going to be, guys. Okay, so let me just do that for you. So you can clearly see 64 plus A square divided by 10 is going to be 104. So 64 plus A square is going to be 1040. So A square value will be 1040 minus 64. So can you calculate this, guys? 1040 minus 64. So just calculate this, get the value of A square. Put this value here, and from that you would end up getting sigma square. And if you do so, the answer which you have to get is 3.96. Again, there was nothing complicated in the concept. There was definitely nothing complicated in the concept. But if you see the calculation part, agreed, completely agreed with you. The calculation is a bit lengthy. It would definitely take more time to solve this question, guys. So that is the reason I told you that, if you see the paper, it was lengthy comparatively. On the difficult side also, on the difficult part also, it was definitely a bit, difficult when you compare it with the yesterday's sessions. So yep, this is the question for you guys. So a square value, just figure it out from here, substitute it here, and you would end up getting the new variance, which will turn out to be 3.96, my students. Okay, fine. So now let me just go to another question. Of course, the mathematical reasoning question. These are those angel chapters. I would say angel chapters, statistics and mathematical reasoning, because there is nothing in this chapter specifically. There is literally nothing. There are hardly 3-4 concepts. And if you want to frame the question, you have no choice but to frame the question only on those 3 concepts. And again, those are not very complicated. They are very easy to understand. So one such chapter is mathematical reasoning. So this is given for you, is asking you, what is this? Is it a tautology? That is, are you getting the entire truth table, the final, the result of this entire thing is true? Or else fallacy, that is, the result of this is always false? Or is it equivalent to this or this? That is the question being asked for you guys. Okay, now let me tell you mathematical reasoning question. Like if you can do this through using the truth table, no problem with that. Through truth table also you can easily get to know what is the solution. Or else you can also do it by using this very simple logic. Guys, you should already be knowing this, that P implies Q. This is equivalent to negation P or Q. Yes or no? P implies Q is equivalent to negation P or Q. Can we apply the same logic? Yes, definitely, to this one. So let me write it down for you. So P and negation Q, okay, whole negation, since this is my first term, or the Q, let me write it as like that, P implies negation Q. Again, for this also you can apply the same logic. So I will get negation P and negation Q, or this is going to be negation P or negation Q. This is what I'm going to get. Is this clear for you? Let me apply this negation to this particular terms. Let me apply this negation to this terms. I'm going to get negation P or Q, and this is going to be or negation P or negation Q. This is what you are going to get. Negation P or negation Q. Negation P or negation Q. Now, guys, this can actually be reduced in this way. Can we write it in this way? This same term can also be written as negation P or Q or negation Q. Simple distribution strategy. Nothing is there here. You see, negation P or Q or negation P or negation Q, the same thing. Instead of writing in this way, I have written in this particular way. Now try to understand this. Q or negation Q, what is that going to become? For any set, okay, think this in terms of Venn diagram. When you combine, let us say a certain set and the complement of the set, you will always get the universal set. So that means here you will always get a universal set. And what is negation P or Q? Again, the concept of set. If you take a universal set and do the union with any of its set, the result is anyway a universal set again. So anyway, this entire result is going to be a universal set. And whenever you get a universal set as a result, what does that basically mean? Well, it is definitely going to be the tautology. Definitely, it is going to be true. So this is what it is, guys. You can solve this question. Again, it's your wish. If you have done through the truth table, fine. At the end, we want those 4 marks. It doesn't really matter. He's not asking you, it's not a subjective examination, right? It really doesn't matter how you're getting those 4 marks. Okay. But so you want to do it through truth table, definitely go with that. Or else this is one such method. Anyway, most of the students will be using the truth table only. But for the students, for other students who want to use this method also, this is also a simple method, guys. Okay, where all you have to use is this very simple logic that P implies Q is going to be this. And from this, you'll get an idea. Okay, fine. So now let me go to another question for you. So yes, definitely the answer is going to be this. Now coming to the limit wala question. Now this is a limit question, and if you observe the question, guys, if you observe the question, it is in infinity by infinity form. That is for sure. It is in infinity by infinity form. If you just substitute n tending to infinity, you'll definitely get it as infinity by infinity form. Now, what do you know about infinity by infinity? There are a couple of methods for that. One method is L'Hospital, but I don't think L'Hospital is a good method here, because if you want to differentiate the numerator or denominator, it would definitely get complicated. I would not suggest that. What is another method? Like, let us say if you have algebraic expressions in the numerator and denominator. And guys, don't get worried, sir, the numerator looks very complicated. What is happening with the numerator? I'll tell you, it's actually easy. Okay, you just have to simplify. Let me just give you an idea. Let me first do the simplification of the numerator. Then your nerves will cool down, and then we can proceed with the the method of infinity by infinity. Now see, guys, the numerator, this is the numerator, like he's given 1 plus 2 minus 3, 4 plus 5 minus 6. So it is like two positive terms and then a negative term. Two positive terms and then a negative term. That's the pattern which is going on. Now try to observe this. Fine, this entire thing is fine. But what is my nth term here? This is my nth term. Agreed, everyone? So I can write this as simply summation r running from 1 to n of the nth term, which is 3r minus 2 plus 3r minus 1 minus of 3r whole divided by this entire thing. I'm not writing it down. I'll just write it as denominator, guys. Okay. Why to just waste our time? Let me just simply write it as denominator. I hope you guys understand this. Okay. So limit n tending to infinity. Okay. Now you see the numerator, guys. What is happening with the numerator? This terms will get cancelled. Plus 3 minus 3 will get cancelled. So this is what is remaining. Limit n tending to infinity. You can take 3 as a common. I'll get r minus 1. Agreed? 3 into r minus 1 whole divided by again the denominator. Again the denominator. In fact, in the examination also, guys, since you have very less space, okay, since you have very less space, you'll be given a booklet, you have to write everything there. So it's beneficial for you to just, whenever you have such pretty huge terms, don't write them in each and every step. Okay, simply indicate them by some constant. You'll get to know exactly what that constant is representing. Try to save your space there. So anyways, guys, so here we can do the simplification, right? You can take this 3 outside. Now again, we have a summation. Let me apply summation separately. That is summation r minus summation 1. And here r is running from 1 to n. Here r is running from 1 to n again. Whole divided by again the denominator term. Okay. And of course, the limit n is tending to infinity. That is what we are getting here. Okay. Now do the simplification, everyone. Limit n tending to infinity. 3 into. Now what is summation r going to be? R into r plus 1 by 2, and that is n into n plus 1 by 2. And what is summation 1? You have to add 1 how many times? N number of times. So this is simply going to be minus n whole divided by the denominator. Now this is a very good form. I mean, now when you see this question and this question, definitely, guys, this is how it is, right? Definitely, I can tell you, okay, this is a much more simplified version of this. I think now the nerves are cooled down. Now I think we can deal with this. So how are we going to do this one? So simply, let me just write it down for you. Limit n tending to infinity. What do we have here, guys? We have, we have this n square plus n, right? N square plus n square plus n, okay, whole divided by 2. Let me take this 3 outside anyway, okay, minus of, what do we have here again? We have a minus n whole divided by this entire thing, which is summation n raised to, 2n raised to 4 plus 3n plus 1 minus of summation, square root of n raised to 4 plus n plus 3. Now guys, this is infinity by infinity form, man. And you have in the numerator a algebraic expression. Algebraic expression, correct? In denominator you have an algebraic expression. Now what is the method for that? What is the method for that, students? Whenever you have in the numerator algebraic expression, denominator algebraic expression, the method is quite simple. Take the highest power of n as a common in the numerator and denominator. That's it. Let me just do the same thing here. So if you do so, 3 into limit n tending to infinity. I can take n square as a common in the numerator. Yes, definitely yes. So what will be left out? 1 plus 1 by n whole divided by 2 minus 1 by n whole divided by, in the denominator I can take n raised to 4 as a common, guys. And since there is a square root, you'll get n square outside. So what happens is that you'll get n square into square root of 2 plus 3 by n cube plus 1 by n raised to 4. So this is what you are getting here, guys. Okay. Minus of, what is this going to be? Again, you're taking n square as a common, I mean n raised to 4 as a common. So square root of, it's going to be 1 plus 1 by n cube plus 3 by n square plus 3 divided by n square. Correct? Plus 3 divided by, just a minute, plus 3 divided by n raised to 4, sorry, plus 3 divided by n raised to 4. This is what you're going to get. Now this is pretty basic stuff, man. I think we are done with the question already. N square is getting cancelled. Agreed. And you can clearly see this 1 by n is going to become 0. This 1 by n is going to become 0. This will go away. This will go away. This will go away. And this is going to go away. So what is left out, guys? What is left out here? If you observe, it is basically 3 into, in the numerator, 1 by 2 is left out. Agreed. In the numerator, 1 by 2 is left out. And in the denominator, what is left out here? In the denominator, we have a root 2 minus 1. Root 2 minus 1. This is left out. So if you do the simplification, this is 3 by 2 into, if you basically, do the rationalization of denominator, you'll get 3 by 2 into root 2 plus 1. And my friends, this is going to be the answer. So is this clear for everyone out there? Is this clear for everyone out there? Is anyone having any doubt in this particular case? Okay. And for fallacy, I mean, it should not have any intersection. For a fallacy, it should not have any intersection. See, for tautology, as I told you in the Venn diagram, the entire thing should be universe, right? Universal set is going to tell you that, okay, everything is true. Then what is fallacy then? It should not have any intersection only. Both between those two sets, they have to be disjoint sets. That's it. Okay, fine. And I can see all your chats, guys. I can see all your chat, students. And also, LOS petal, as I told you, LOS petal is not feasible here, man. Because it will take very, it would just get complicated. If you see the denominator and the numerator, no, the denominator, the differentiation will definitely get complicated for you. Okay, maybe the question might get into a complicated form. So I think that's not feasible. Rationalize, you can do it. In the denominator, you can definitely do the rationalization. But again, it's not required. It's not required in this question. Because as I told you, it's infinity by infinity, right? So we need to get rid of this infinity by infinity. When you have algebraic expressions, all we have to do is take the highest power of n as a common. And for that, why do you have to rationalize the denominator anyway? Okay, you can just directly do it in this way, guys. So the right answer is going to be this. Is this clear for everyone? I hope it's clear for you. Now let me just go to another question. And yes, 3 by 2 into root 2 plus 1 is going to be the right answer. Okay, chalo. So now let me just go to another question. Now you see this question. About this question, guys, I did not get all the options. If anyone of you have written the examination, just let me know in the chat section, okay, which option, what are the other two options going to be. But I just got these options, everyone. Okay, so for this, first things first here, f of x is given in this way, right? Now what is g of x going to be? F of minus x, that is 1 minus e raised to minus of minus x. Okay, e raised to x minus of, what is f of x going to be? 1 by 1 minus e raised to minus x. Clear? Okay, now let me do the simplification for you. 1 by 1 minus e raised to x minus of, this can be written as e raised to x by e raised to x minus 1. Agreed, guys? E raised to x by e raised to x minus 1, which can also be written as 1 by 1 minus e raised to x. Okay, so let me just, let me make the denominators same. So for that, I can write this as plus e raised to x by 1 minus e raised to x. And from here, I'll get to know that 1 plus e raised to x, 1 minus e raised to x, this is going to be my g of x, everyone. My g of x is 1 plus e raised to x divided by 1 minus e raised to x. Okay, so once you get to know what is g of x going to be, no? So what is g of x? 1 plus e raised to x divided by 1 minus e raised to x. All you have to do is figure out if g is increasing or g is decreasing, or is g 1 1 or is it not, the other options we don't know. Let us say if you want to check whether the function is 1 1 or not. Now let me tell you, for 1 1 we have this method, the differentiation method. Just differentiate, check whether the function is increasing or decreasing in the given interval. Okay, if it is definitely increasing or decreasing, it would be a 1 1 function, no doubt in that. So here you can do it in this way, right? Just differentiate this. So g dash of x is going to be, so just a minute guys, g dash of x is going to be in the denominator 1 minus e raised to x whole square. Agreed? And in the numerator, this is what you're gonna get, 1 minus e raised to x into e raised to x minus of 1 plus e raised to x into minus e raised to x. This is what you're gonna get. Now let me just check, if I simplify, let us see what I'm going to get. So 1 minus e raised to x whole square, and in the numerator it would be e raised to x minus of e raised to x whole square, and this is going to be minus of minus, it is going to be plus. Agreed, everyone? Minus of minus plus, and you have e raised to x plus e raised to x whole square. So this is what you have. Okay, so clearly this term and this term is getting cancelled. So I would be getting 2 into e raised to x divided by 1 minus e raised to x whole square. This is my g dash of x, students. Now try to understand this, everyone. The denominator is always positive. The denominator is always positive. No problem with that. Okay, 1 minus e raised to x whole square definitely is going to be positive, right? Then what about this numerator? E raised to x, can I say it's always going to be positive? Can we say e raised to x for any value of x in the interval 0 to 1, is it going to be positive? Of course. So from that you'll basically get an idea. Okay, you'll get an idea of what g of x is going to be. Is it 1 1 or increasing or decreasing or whatever. So if you could have the other two options, we could have decided like exactly what is the right answer. Okay, but this is the procedure, guys. This is going to be the procedure. You have your f of x here. Just figure out what is g of x. Okay, and also I don't really I'm not completely sure that is this the exact question or not. Okay, I just got this question from one of the students. I'm not exactly sure whether this is the right question or not, but I think if the question is something like this also, okay, I think it's not a big deal. You could have just simply find out g of x, and then if it is 1 1 or increasing or decreasing, you could have just differentiated and just get to know that. Okay, so this is the question for you guys, one of the questions from the functions chapter. Okay, so I hope this is clear for everyone. Now coming to this question, students, we need to find out, here there is a small mistakes. We need to find out determinant of adjoint a square. That is the actual question. Okay, so how do we do this? How do we do this? Now let me tell you, in the shift 2 also, yesterday's paper shift 2 also, there was a question based on the concept of adjoint a. And I told you guys, I keep telling you this guys, that in matrices and determinants chapter, one important concept is system of linear equations. Another important concept is on the properties of determinant, properties of adjoint, questions are definitely going to be framed. Okay, we can expect questions from that. So definitely go through them. The question was asked in the yesterday's paper and also today's paper. For all the students out there who are still having your examination in, at 29, 30, 31st, please make a note of this, guys. Okay, chalo. So now how do we do this question? First things first. Now try to understand this, guys. You already know that what is adjoint of adjoint A mod, that is determinant of adjoint A is determinant of A raised to, it's simply going to be determinant of A raised to n minus 1 whole square, agreed, determinant of A raised to n minus 1 whole square. Then what is going to be adjoint of adjoint A square? What is adjoint of adjoint A square going to be, students? Pretty simple. In place of A, all you have to do is basically replace it by A square and you would be getting this A square. And guys, what is n value going to be, guys? N is basically 3, the order, so it's going to be 4 here. So determinant of A is simply going to become, determinant of A power 8 is simply what we need to figure out. So all we have to do is find out determinant of A here. And the matrix is given, the matrix A is given. Now you might be having this question. Sir, there is X, Y, Z, correct? I can clearly see X, Y, Z is there in the matrix. If I find the determinant of A, definitely it would be in terms of X, Y, Z. Nothing is given about X, Y, Z in the question. Now how would I get a value? We need a value for this. We need a perfect answer, a numerical value for this. So how would I get it, guys? See, first things first, this question can actually be simplified in this way, guys. Try to understand. This particular matrix is there, no? It can be simplified. I'll show you. You want to find the determinant of A. Okay, cool. So determinant of A is simply this one. You have log x to the base y, no? Let me do one thing, man. I don't want to write it in this way. Let me write this in this way. Log x to the base e divided by log y to the base e. I'm not writing that to the base e part. Anyway, I think that is anyway, already assumed. So this is how I can write it down. Agreed. I can definitely write down the same thing in this way. No problem at all. Similarly, log y to the base z can be written as log y divided by log z. Okay, cool. Nothing dramatic is happening still now. Okay. Again, let me do the same thing here. So this is log y divided by log x. Okay. And again, this is log z divided by log y. Agreed, everyone? Okay. Now this is 2. Okay, let me just keep it aside. Let me not write those numbers now. Again, log x to the base z. This can be written as log z divided by log x, everyone. And then what do we have? Log x to the base z. Okay. Log x divided by log z. Okay, perfect. So this is what we have, students. This is what we have. Okay. Now, can you tell me, in place of 1, what can we take? In place of 1, what can we take in this particular case, students? In case of 1, can we write it in this way? If you observe this, log y by log x, log z by log y. In place of 1, this can be written as log x by log x. Can we write it in this way? Log x divided by log x. Can we write it in this particular way? Yes, definitely we can do that. And in place of 2, can we write it as log y divided by log y? Yes, log y divided by log y. In place of 2 into 1, I can write it in this way. And similarly, in place of 3, we can write this as 3 into log z divided by log z. So if you write it in this particular way, what is going to happen? If you write it in this particular way, what is going to happen? Try to observe this, guys. I think we can take a common, right? I think definitely we can have a common. I think there is some mistake. in the calculation part, guys. Can you just look at where we have done some calculation mistake here? Can you just check it down, guys? Can you just check it down? Because there is something missing in the question. Because we should be in a position where we can take this log x, log y and log z as a common, and that is definitely not happening here. So just check it out here. I think here if you observe this, so let me remove this part, so log x by log y is fine, log y by log z, log y by log x is fine, log z by log x, and then you have log z by log y and log x by log z. Okay, perfect. This is completely fine. No issues with this at all. So determinant of A, okay, in place of 1, what can we do here? In place of 1, can we just take log y as a common? If you want log y as a common, I think at least this should be having it. Okay. Guys, just check the question. Is the question correct? Is the question correct, everyone? Is the question correct, everyone? Let me just check the question once again, guys, because I feel there is something, yes, I think there is something wrong in the question. Correct, guys. See here. The question, I don't know, man, there is lot of mistakes. Okay, just give me 1 minute, guys. There is something wrong in the question. That is what I was feeling. You see, this is not how we should be getting it. No. I think there is something wrong in the question. I think the student who has given us maybe, has given it in this way. I think the right question is this, guys. This should be 1 log x to the base y, log y to the base z. This is log x to the base. You see here, this is log x to the base y. Log x to the base y. Okay. And then this is log z to the base x. This is perfect. This is log z to the base x, guys. This is log z to the base x here, and then you have log y to the base z. This is log y to the base z. Okay, perfect. So anyways, the students have done the question. I think you can clearly understand this. So fine, nothing dramatic. So let me just do the same thing. So whatever method I've applied, let me apply the same thing. So again the same thing, guys. So you have this log x, right? So log x base y is log x by log y here. Okay. And again you have log y and you have this log z here. Correct. And then you have log x here again, log x by log y here. Okay. And then you have log y by log z here. Log y divided by log z here. Correct? Okay, perfect. And then what do we have here? You have log z by log x. Log z by log x. Okay. And here you have log z divided by log x. Log z divided by log x. Okay. Now I think this is fine. Now this is completely fine. Okay. Now all you have to do is, in place of 1, 2, 3, you have to decide one should be multiplied by which one. Log x by log x, or log y by log y, log z by log z. You decide that, students. Okay. And how do you decide that? It's pretty simple. If you see, just take anything, make sure that in that particular row or in that particular column, the log x is common. Okay. You basically take it in that way, right? So if you do it in that way, what happens is basically you will get to know that from this entire determinant, log x, log y and log z is going to be common in the denominator, and again from the rest of the determinant you would be getting a log x, log y and log z as a common, guys. Okay, and this will get cancelled away, and whatever the determinant is there, it is going to contain only the numbers in that. You can just solve that and you're going to get the answer. So determinant of A is definitely going to be a value, and just substitute that value here, guys. Substitute that value in this question. I mean, in determinant of A raised to 8, you're going to get the answer. Okay, but I think, I have to recheck this question once again. I'm not pretty sure is the question, whatever question I got is right. There might be few changes. I'll check this question again, guys. We'll check this question back because there might be some mistakes in this. I'll just check this question once again and come back to you. And okay, fine. Now let me go to another question for you guys. And the right answer for this is 2 raised to 8. Again, the right answer for this question, if you want to know the answer is going to be 2 raised to 8. Okay, that is how it is. But I think the rest, I think this is clear for you. How to do the simplification is clear. So just write this as log x by log y, log y by log z in this way. And you take 1, 2, 3 in such a way that you can take this log x, log y, log z as common, and then they get cancelled out, and after that you can basically solve the determinant. Okay, now let me go to this question, guys. Now what is this question given to you? Limit extending to infinity, cot inverse of this divided by secant inverse of this is given to you. Now how do you solve this question, guys? How do you call this question, guys? Now see, the limit question, we have 2 limit questions. You have seen that one limit question where it was infinity by infinity form, and this is another limit question. Now how do we solve this question right here is, it's a good question actually if you observe. First you have to know what is the inside term when x is tending to infinity. What is this inside term? Secant inverse inside, what is happening to this when x is tending to infinity? So let me do one thing, let me make it simple for you. Let me take this to be f of x students, and let me take this to be g of x students. Okay, this is going to be f of x, this is going to be g of x. Now try to understand this, everyone. What is limit x tending to infinity f of x going to be? That is limit x tending to infinity, you're going to get basically log x to the base a divided by x raised to a. You can write f of x in this way. This can also be written as limit x tending to infinity log x to the base e divided by x raised to a into log a to the base e. Simple property we have here. Now, this is in infinity by infinity form. When x is tending to infinity, log infinity, definitely infinity, and then you have infinity raised to anything, definitely it's going to be infinity here. Anyway, a is positive, so x raised to a, that is infinity raised to a, is going to be infinity. So infinity by infinity form. Now which method should we apply in this particular case? We need to definitely apply the L'Hospital rule. Agreed. So according to the L'Hospital rule, what are we going to get? So here you can see limit extending to infinity. So log x to the base e differentiation is 1 by x whole divided by, don't differentiate log a base e, anyway it's a constant, no. So log a base e, let me just write it in this way, into x raised to a differentiation is a into x raised to a minus 1. Now guys, I want you to understand this. When x is tending to infinity, you see what is happening here. Well, if you see here, you can clearly observe that when x is tending to infinity, you see what is happening here. Limit x tending to infinity, I'll be getting 1 divided by, this is going to be log a base e into a into, now this x into x raised to a minus 1. What is that going to be? X raised to a. Agreed. X raised to a. Now you tell me, when x is tending to infinity, 1 by infinity I'm getting here. Right? I'm getting 1 by infinity in this case. Now what is 1 by infinity going to be, students? It is simply going to become 0. It is simply going to become 0. Now if it is 0, if you take this value here, what is cot inverse 0 going to be? What is cot inverse 0 going to be? Pi by 2. So simply the above value, we can say this value, which is cot inverse of this f of x. Okay, when limit x is tending to infinity, definitely this is going to become how much? This is going to become pi divided by 2. This is simply going to become pi divided by 2. Pi divided by 2. Similarly, you can apply the same logic to the denominator, guys. Similarly, if you apply the same logic to the denominator, so you have your g of x here, and you're applying limit x tending to infinity. So what am I going to get here? Limit x tending to infinity, again the same logic, a raised to x, and you have log a to the base e divided by log x to the base e. Let me again apply the L'Hospital rule here, I'll get what I'm going to get in this particular case. So here you have a raised to x, right? What is the differentiation of a raised to x going to be? A raised to x into ln a, and this is ln a base c, whole divided by log x base c. Differentiation is 1 by x. Now when x is tending to infinity, you see what is going to happen to this entire term. This will also be tending to infinity. Agreed, everyone? Now, for limit x tending to infinity, if g of x is tending to infinity, what is going to happen to secant inverse of g of x? That is going to be basically pi by 2. Secant inverse infinity is pi by 2, correct? So what does that mean? I'm basically getting, for this limit, I'm basically getting pi by 2 divided by pi by 2. And the right answer for this question is going to be option B. And that is, my friends, 1. So is this clear for everyone? Is this clear for everyone out there? So it's a good question from limit chapter. Okay, I mean, it looks complicated, but again, if you do a little bit analysis, all you need to figure out is what is happening to this cot inverse, what is happening to this terms present inside cot inverse and secant inverse. Accordingly, you can decide it. Okay, so I hope this is clear for everyone out there. Now let me go to this question. Now this question was asked in probability, and let me tell you guys, this was also a very good question. I mean, the topper students, the students who are prepared very well could have done this question. And that is what I was telling you, that the doable questions are less in this shift, man. So I think the cutoff might go down. Okay, I think in this particular, shift 1, 25th Jan, I guess if you have done around 10 to 15 questions, not 15 also, I think if you could have done around 10 to 12 questions also, I think you would end up getting a good percentile. Definitely. You would end up getting a good percentile. You can clearly see the paper was not that easy, but if you see the last, the yesterday's paper, shift 1 and shift 2, at least we got few questions, no? Like there were like 10 to 12 questions which were doable, and also a lot of calculation was not involved there. If you see binomial theorem questions, directly results we have applied there. And also if you see permutations and combination question as well, they were dead easy questions. Okay, but I think this shift is somewhat difficult, I feel. Okay, fine. So now guys, try to understand guys. You see this question now. A wire of length L is cut into 3 pieces. And the probability that the 3 pieces form a triangle is going to be, let me tell you, the right answer of this is 1 by 4. If you have done this type of questions, then I think in the examination you'll not feel anything. I mean, you could have done it comfortably. So what is going to happen is, try to understand this. See, there is, let us say, a wire. Okay, this is your wire. Okay, this is going to be your wire of length L, guys. Let us assume it's going to be of the length L. Let me divide this into 3 pieces. So let us say first piece is X, the second piece is Y. Then what about the third piece? Instead of taking Z, let me take it as L minus of X plus Y. Simple, L minus of X plus Y. So we have a wire, we have to divide it into 3 pieces, and that is what we have done here. Okay, now try to understand this, guys. These 3 pieces should be forming what? They have to be basically forming a triangle. What is the probability of that? Now, if it is forming a triangle, what is the condition? See, the basics of triangle. We have studied this in our class 8th or class 7th only, that the sum of the 2 sides of triangle should be greater than the third side. Nothing dramatic, nothing crazy. We already know this. So what does this mean? Well, X plus Y value should definitely be greater than L minus of X plus Y. Can we say that? So from here I'll get to know X plus Y should be greater than L by 2. Let me put this as one condition. Again, we can also write similarly. Let us suppose X plus L minus X minus Y should be greater than Y. The simple logic, man. Sum of the 2 sides should be greater than third side. I'm just taking any 2 sides. So I have taken X and Y. That should be greater than the third side. X and this, it should be greater than Y. So accordingly, what I'm going to get here, I'll get Y to be less than L by 2. This is the condition I'm getting. And similarly, Y plus L minus X minus Y should be greater than X. And from this, I'll be getting X to be less than L by 2. So this is another condition. Okay, we got the conditions. But what should we do with these conditions, guys? I mean, we need to find the probability, no? And here, the concept of geometric probability is going to come into the picture. So do you guys know this concept of geometric probability? I think you might have done the few questions, on concept of geometric probability. If you see, in JEE Advanced, there were few questions from this concept. Okay, so geometric probability, that is what you have to be using. Geometric probability. Okay, so according to the geometric probability, what you have to do is, you have to figure out what is the required region, what is the total region, find the areas of that, and it is going to be, the probability is going to be required area by total area. That is going to be the formula. So accordingly, what we are going to do here is, so first thing is that, guys, let me plot the graph for you. This is y and this is going to be your x-axis. Now you have three conditions. Mind it, we have three conditions, guys. What is that condition? Your x plus y should be greater than L by 2. Your x should be less than L by 2. Y should be less than L by 2. So accordingly, what is going to happen is, this is the graph you are going to get. Let us say this is your line, x plus y is equal to L by 2. Okay, and then let us say that this is x is equal to L by 2. Let us suppose x equal to L by 2, and this is y is equal to L by 2. Okay, this is x is equal to L by 2, y is equal to L by 2. Now what is the region that is required in the question? That is basically asking in the question. You see, x plus y greater than L by 2, that is this side region to the right side region above the line. X less than L by 2, that is this side region, the left side region of this line. Y less than L by 2, that is downside region of this line. And if you take the combination, the intersection of that, this is the region which he is interested in. This is the required region. Got it? Then what is the total region, guys? See, if there is no restriction at all, let us suppose there is no restriction for this question. Okay, then we can definitely say that x plus y can go till L. Is this correct or wrong? If there is no restriction, definitely we can say that this x plus y is going to go till L. It can go till L. So what does that mean is, you can simply draw a line which is parallel to this, something like this. The line is going to be something like this, and this line is going to be given by x plus y is equal to L. Okay, so let me tell you, this entire triangle, this red wala triangle, you see this triangle, everyone? This red triangle is indicating the total area. This red triangle is indicating the total. So in probability, you want the favorable by the total outcomes. So this red triangle is indicating the total. Okay, and what is this one indicating? Let me just draw this with green. So this green one, the green triangle which we are getting here, is indicating the required one, or you can say favorable one. We can say the favorable one. And now, if you want to calculate the probability, my students, what is the probability here? The probability is required, that is favorable. So what is the area of this triangle? Half into base into height. So half into L by 2 into L by 2 whole divided by, and what is the total area? The total red triangle region area, it's going to be half into base into height again. So half into L, half, L and L is getting cancelled. So the answer which is going to be, what is the answer you get here, is 1 by 4. 1 by 4 is going to be the solution. So is this clear for everyone? Is this clear for all the students out there? So again, guys, I completely agree. It's a good question, conceptually a very good question. You should have done this geometric probability concept before. You should have done few questions on this concept. If you have done that, definitely this question, you could have attempted it. You could have done it comfortably. But again, only that topper students could have done this question, guys. Okay. So chalo, I think this is clear. So the right answer for this question is going to be 1 by 4, guys. 1 by 4 is the right answer. Now let me just go to another question for you. Okay, this complex number question is asked. And comparatively, this was a very simple question. I felt relaxed when I see this. When I've seen this question, no, I thought, okay, I thought everything is lengthy, everything is complicated. But no, though, this question was a bit easy question. Now, what is he asking us to figure out? Z minus Z1 square plus Z minus Z2 square is Z1 minus Z2 square. Where Z1, Z2 is given for you, then what is the locus of Z? Now, guys, try to understand this. What is happening here? If you take an argand plane, let us suppose that your Z1 point is somewhere here. Your Z2 point is somewhere here. And let me take this Z point somewhere here. Okay. Now let me just join these points, everyone. Let me just join those points, guys. So if I'm going to join those points, this is the line we are going to get. This is another line. And this is going to be another line. Clear? Okay, now try to understand this, guys. This is Z1 minus Z2. I mean the distance, if you want to find out what is the distance here, it is mod of Z1 minus Z2. Magnitude of Z1 minus Z2. What is this distance, guys? Magnitude of Z minus Z2. What is this distance, guys? Magnitude of Z minus Z1. Now, if you see the question, guys, what is given for you? This square plus this square is equal to this square. This square plus this square is equal to this square. Now, what does that basically mean? What does that basically mean? Guys, it's a right angle triangle. No, it's obvious that this is a right angle triangle where the angle here is 90 degrees. Now, you have to choose all those points. You have to take all those points in such a way that the distance from here and here, if you take the square, sum of the squares should be equal to this. Now, what would be the locus of all those points? What would be the locus of all such points which will move according to this condition? Guys, we do know that in a semicircle, if you remember, in a semicircle, what is going to happen? Like, let us say you have taken this point and this point as the ends of diameter. And you take any point, let us suppose you take any point on the arc, and let me join these 2 points like this. Definitely the angle is going to be 90 degrees. So what does that mean, guys? With Z1 and Z2 as the ends of the diameter, the Z can form a circle. The Z can definitely form a circle. This Z can definitely form a circle. So we can say, therefore, the locus of Z is a circle. The locus of Z is going to be a circle. And what is the radius of the circle going to be, guys? This one. You see, this is the ends of diameter, right? This is the center of the circle, and Z1 and Z2 is going to be the end. So if you want to calculate the radius, it is simply mod of Z1 minus Z2 whole divided by 2. So from this, you'll get to know what is the locus of the circle. I mean, locus of this point is Z, and also what is it going to be? What is its radius going to be? So the right answer, guys, for this question is this. I think there might be a few options for you. In the option, whichever option you have that the locus is going to be circle, and if at all you have more than one option where the locus is going to be a circle is given, then figure out the radius and figure out. Okay, you'll get to know what is the right answer from that. Okay, so anyone is having any doubt in this case, guys? Anyone is having any more doubt in this question? Core concepts book really useful. Yes. Okay, I hope this is clear for you guys. Again, complex number question. I hope it's clear for you. And then we have another question. Now this is on the composite functions and inverse function, guys. Inverse function concept is asked for us. It's not a difficult question. Again, this can be done. I think it's a doable question only. So what is given for you is, if you observe here, G circle f of x whole inverse is given and is asking us to figure out f circle G of AC and G circle f of B. Now how do we do this one, guys? First things first. Let us figure out what is G circle f of x whole inverse. For that, let us first find out what is G of f of x going to be. So that is G of x cube plus 3. Agreed everyone? And here in place of a, you can take x cube plus 3 plus c. So this can also be written as ax cube plus 3a plus c. Now let me just take this as y. Let me write x in terms of y. Why am I doing this? I need to find the inverse, right? So I need x in terms of y. So for that, this is what I'm going to get. So for that, I'll get y minus c, okay, divided by y minus c minus 3a. Y minus c minus 3a divided by a cube divided by, it's not a cube, divided by a whole raised to 1 by 3, and that is my x. Okay, and from here I can write down. So therefore, what is g of f of x whole inverse going to be? So this is g of f of y whole inverse. So replace that y by x. I'll get x minus 3a minus c divided by a whole raised to 1 by 3. Now all you have to do is compare the result with the result given for you in the question. You see, the result given for you in the question is x minus 7 by 2 whole raised to 1 by 3. Now you tell me what is going to be. I think it is, did we make any mistake here, guys? I think, no, exactly. Just a minute. I think, yes, that's it. I think we need a value of b, right? What is b here in the question? I think there is something again which is missing in the question. Ax plus p, x cube plus 3. I think there is something missing in the question, guys. Just let me check the question once again. I think again there might be some typing mistake in the question. Yep. Guys, this is b. This is actually b. This was actually b. Arey yaar. What is happening? Okay, this should be b, guys. Okay, so then if that is the case, let me do one thing. Let me just take down this 3 everywhere we have written down, and let me just replace it with this 3. Okay, sorry, let me just replace it with this b here. Here you have a b, here you have a b again a b here, and yeah, perfect, 1 by b, and this is 1 by 3. Perfect. Now I think it's clear for you guys. If you compare, what is the values you're going to get here? So first things first here, you can clearly observe that the value of b is going to become 3, the value of a is going to become 2, and the value of 3a plus c is going to become 7. 3a plus c is going to become 7. So for a is equal to 2, the value of c, how much is that going to become? So let me write it down for you. So 3a plus c is equal to 7. So for a is equal to 2, the value of c is simply going to become 1. So therefore, the values of a, b, c, a is 2, b is 3, c is going to become 1. So therefore, you got to know what is f of x going to become? X cube plus 3. What is g of x going to become? Ax, that is 2x plus 1. Now all you have to do is find out f circle g of a into c, that is 2, plus a g circle f of 3. So what is f circle g of 2 going to be? So it's basically f of a g of 2. So what is g of 2 going to be, students? 2 2s are 4 plus 1, 5. Plus a g of, what is f of 3 going to be? It's going to be 3 cube, which is 27 plus 3, 30. So what is f of 5 going to be here? 5 cube, 125 plus 3, 128. And what is g of 30 going to be? It is simply going to be 61. So 128 plus 61, the answer you are going to get in this case is 189. So 189 is going to be the right answer in this particular question. So is this clear for everyone out there? Again, a basic question. I think this was a doable question. All you had to know was the basics of composite and inverse function. You could have comfortably done this question, guys. Okay, so I hope it's clear for you. Now let me just go to another question. I think we are done. Chalo. I think this were the questions I've received from my students. Okay, we have received from the students out there. So if at all we receive more questions, definitely we'll make another video where we can, where I'll discuss those questions with you guys. So on a whole, from whatever questions I have done, I think the question paper was definitely not easy. Definitely it was somewhere between, the moderate to difficult, doable questions were few. I think they were, I guess they were around 6 to 7 maybe 5 to 7 questions were just doable questions. The rest of the questions definitely you have to know a good conceptual knowledge there, okay? And of course, I think there were also difficult questions as far as, I've heard from the students. The number of difficult questions were more. So, but anyways, it's a relative marking, right? So I think accordingly, the cutoff is going to go low for this paper, but for the specifically for math, okay? But I think for low marks also, like if you, as I told you in between the session also, if you have done at least 10 to 12 questions correct, I think you'll definitely get a very good percentile, guys. That is definitely going to happen, at least 10 questions correct or 12 questions correct. I think you would end up getting a good percentile, no doubt in that. Okay, fine. Chalo, guys. So I think that's it from today's session. Anyone is having any more doubts here? Anyone is having any more doubts? Sir, can you explain again which question, Ajay? This question, huh? Are you asking about this particular question? This is a pretty simple question. You see here, first find out ABC values. Okay, for finding out ABC, this is the condition given for you. This is the hint given for you. So first find out G circle f of x whole inverse. I've done that. By comparing, I got to know what is B value, A value, and also C value. And after getting that, all you have to do is find out this value, and that is simple composite function, application. Okay, fine. Chalo. So I think that's it, guys. Thank you so much, everyone. Then, so any more doubts? Do we have any more doubts here? Guys, do you have any more doubts here? Since preparing level becoming tough day by day, we can't say that. Let's see. Abhi, like, in the next, I think within a few minutes, I think within, a hour, we'll get to know the shift 2 paper also, how it was. I'll do the analysis also for the shift 2, guys. Okay, so shift 2 paper as well. Then we'll get to know, is the paper becoming tough day by day? We'll get to know about that. Okay, but definitely compared to the previous day, yesterday's session, yesterday's 2 sessions, this particular session was difficult, definitely on the difficult side. Okay, fine. Sir, are you Telugu? Yes, I'm from Telugu. I'm from Hyderabad. So, and also, guys, if you want to, if you want this discussion, the same paper discussion, as well as if you want any sessions of JEE or Telangana, Andhra Pradesh board or MSET, you can join Vedantu Telugu channel, guys. There is a separate channel for Telugu guys out there. All my brothers and sisters out there. We have a separate channel called Vedantu Telugu. Do join that channel. Okay, go there. You find a lot of content, and it's delivered in only in Telugu. Okay, so you would feel very comfortable, very comfortable for you guys. So just go and check out that channel, guys. Definitely you'll love the content there, you'll love the classes there. I'm taking math there, same. So definitely go check that channel out. This is for all my Telangana and Andhra Pradesh students. Okay, fine. Or is anyone having any more doubts, guys? Sir, can you take in Telugu channel also, sir? Please, definitely we'll do that. Sir, which college you studied? I have studied in NIT Surat. I'm from NIT Surat. Chalo, guys, I think that's it then. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's just wind up the session. So that was a wonderful session. So again, we'll meet for the shift 2 analysis. Okay. And see, guys, this paper analysis is very important for all the students who are having their examination on 29, 30, 31st. And also for the class 11th students as well. Because you will get to know exactly what is asked in the paper, okay, what was the toughness level, on what chapters questions are, more number of questions are asked, and what level of questions, which topics is concentrating more. All those things you'll get to know, and that will definitely help you in preparing well, specifically for class 11 students and for students who have your examination on 29, 30, 31st and 1st. It will give you an idea, okay, this type of concepts are repeating. So there are chances that you might get the same type of concept in your shift also. Okay, so chalo then, thank you so much everyone. Take care, let's meet again, okay, in the evening analysis session. Till then, take care guys, bye everyone, bye-bye.